Excellent. Now I go back to here. I'm going to go to YouTube.
Right, and you can hit the Facebook anytime there now to go live.
Oh, okay. I'll
Right there. Yeah.
Now, how come it doesn't show me the live yet?
Right there. Live now.
Oh, live now. So
Yeah.
I click here. Okay, then I go copy embedded, right?
Yep.
And now the only place we're putting this now is referrallist.com.
Site manager. Yeah, there you go.
And then I go to pages is
No, this is different, remember, because it was the one that was way down there.
Wait a minute.
Go back to the home page.
Customization.
Yeah, there.
And then
All the way down the bottom. Yeah.
watch live.
Yeah.
And then I switch it to. I love it how I show you how to do this.
Right.
I have
The
no
second
problem
one, pencil.
Isn't that crazy? I literally show him how to do it.
Yep.
And I got to relearn it.
Source. Yep. Yeah, you don't need.
And then I go from iframe to iframe.
From that right there, right. iframe to right. Yep, exactly.
Paste. And then save.
And then you're going to do the make sure that the height and width are the.
Let me see. What are you doing, Matt?
720 width and
I didn't know you changed it. So.
Yeah, no, because we did before, so I assume that
that's fine. 720 width.
Yeah, 360 height.
That I do want you to email me.
Yep, I got it. I got it all written down, everything for you.
360. Okay, now save changes. And now I can go just kind of look at it, make sure it's working.
Yeah, just go to the referral list.
Yay. Excellent. Then we go back to here, and I want to make sure my audio's good.
Yep.
So boom.
Hello. I'm not here.
Boom seems okay.
And now here's where you bring in David from the.
Excellent.
Good. So then I go find him.
Yeah.
And he's good.
A lot of fun, weird things.
Yeah, he's good, but you gotta go put his.
The weirder the better.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So therefore I go
That's
to.
input.
Investigating a death that the family says is not a suicide.
No, we go to input. We gotta put it in there first.
I tend to agree with him.
Add input.
Oh, add is, well, why can't I just do that? Okay, whatever, you're right. And this is a weird thing.
This girl's 23 years old,
I
heavy drug
it
addict.
does this shit
Oh.
sometimes.
The girl becomes a
Oh
heavy
man,
drug
it does it
addict,
to me more than it does to you.
opens herself up to robbery, rape, murder. I mean, just so many horrible things can happen to her.
Yeah.
Shoot.
They're saying it's a suicide, but there's a lot of things that don't match up correctly.
You know, hit add it, not that thing over there. Hit just add input.
Well, it's true. You end up doing things. I have a niece, well-educated,
It's done it to me a fuckload of times.
had a child by, we think, we don't really know, but had a child by her drug dealer, we think, for the drugs. She's been sober now for 6 years. She's a great mother.
Oh,
really, really happy.
Success story.
Turned her
Yeah,
life around.
turned her life around.
Images.
So that's a good thing. And the child is just wonderful. Smart.
What would
funny,
say, David?
Just
Browse. Yeah.
Or like this girl, they find her hanging out in the shower.
Desktop
Spout.
wow.
graphics.
That must be the new way to do it. I mean, Bourdain did it that way. That Kate Spade did it that way.
Yeah, and it's for women, especially a drug addict girl. A drug addict girl will almost always just OD herself.
Yeah.
That's why it's a little
That's why
suspicious.
they're wondering about it.
2 broken ribs, open fracture
Then you
ribs,
just gotta go put it to the
beat
top.
up,
Or if you want on the bottom.
obviously was beat,
At the very end.
and the drugs in her she has meth and heroin in her, which is unusual. Most addicts have a drug of choice.
Yeah.
They don't.
I guess
They don't jump off on other things.
I don't know why you
Plus
do it
meth
this way. I
is
thought I would go to
stimulant.
here,
And
and
what
on
I
this
know,
one,
You can do it, but then
heroin
you
is
just have to,
not, And you're
Now
not
you
gonna
can
know,
have that.
or maybe I
The
don't know.
reason being
I don't
is
know
the
either.
whole time they switch over
Hey,
here, that
Suzanne.
way David will
How you
show
doing?
up. Otherwise, you
I'm
just hit that.
Would you get
Okay,
me
so
in
show me how you do it.
here?
Yes.
So what do I
Sure,
do?
yes, I will.
Okay.
Just
Tim
tell me.
Spence,
Go down
But,
to
yeah.
David Salisbury. okay,
keep an
run
eye on
that to the
Fox.
top.
If
Yeah,
Trump
we had a guy
signs that
here,
over
there.
today, he wanted you
Yeah.
to acknowledge that, and then if he signs it, we would
Here,
cut
there.
into it.
That
Go
And
goes
he
what
on.
wanted
water
to
is
be
that?
sure you acknowledged
Really
it.
looking for water strip.
Do the
Signing about bringing families
bring it to
together.
the top.
Stuff, but
Grab
he
it,
was
put it
a
at the top.
witness
So-
for
Can we
a
find
drug,
him to just like do
Yep, there.
Yeah.
Bring
Pretty
it down
good.
there.
And then just
He
hit,
was found dead.
just close it up.
No, I bet he
It was
was.
suicide.
And now you go there and add it.
Clint,
What do you mean?
just so you know, this is K-How, K-How.
Go to this one.
Oh, okay.
this here
Just so you
camera,
know, and then you hit call track,
Hit the gear.
in case you're ever here.
Thank
Okay.
you.
You're welcome. There's got water and everything.
Yes,
Perfect.
ma'am, thank you.
Grab that.
Are you leaving or something?
Now you go down and it'll be at the very bottom.
Special note?
Are you leaving or something?
Yep, tomorrow, going to municipal, but,
Municipal with the
no, so you still got David Trumbull in there.
David
So do you
Trent.
get,
Ah, you just mixed them
you
both.
get paid by the hour?
It'll be the very last.
Volunteer.
Oh, you're volunteering. That's
You're
really
ready to go.
nice.
Got it. Yeah.
And I got it all written out and I'll give
I
you
got
that paper.
about enough income to be able to do this.
Well, what'd the coroner say
Got it.
about the hanging?
And how do we know this is working? Main.
Then when you bring it over here, you hit, when you switch it over.
And again, the president is having a meeting in the.
I know that, But we're sure, okay, because the blue is grabbing the levels.
Right.
Is it too high or it's okay?
That's not bad stuff, I just don't want it, it'll hit that red dot if it's too high.
Is there any life insurance? Was there any prior?
And you try to get the same, and then, like I say,
Very few
when you
women
switch over, make sure it'll be always, that's the one that you're switching
Yeah,
over
you're right.
to. It'll
make
easier
it
than
the first time. There's usually a lot of attempts. I was reading
Yeah.
last night, a lot of attempts.
These down here are nothing.
Were the toxic levels fatal? Yeah. Has she been
Well,
in
you know.
mental health? Is there any rehab history? There's
Still
scars on the
clear.
wrists
I
of
had
those
these things.
prior.
You like these lights?
Oh, yeah.
Any question on the broken ribs? I've got a bunch of questions.
Seven at a time.
It looks spectacular.
I almost had to file workman's comp.
I went to the chiropractor last night, and he was real good.
Isn't he cool? Man, I was feeling the
I
difference.
signed up for the 6 month.
I'm feeling the difference.
Holy shit.
Bright light?
I would have,
$14.
half the price, I would have cracked your back for.
He does
seven
that.
fractions.
And I'd never seen it.
I had an adjustment,
Yeah,
okay,
and
yesterday.
it felt it right away.
And oh my God, what happened to me last, I had some spasms that you could tell it was healing, you know, you can tell it was going like all kinds of stuff. It's amazing because it doesn't seem like,
Do you like chiropractors, David? Me neither,
And he's
man.
not a bone cruncher.
No way, bud.
yeah, but. you
I
know
went
what
to one time
But to
and
put a
I
big-
never
I
go
know,
again.
but it's not fair, Mark, to judge them all by that, you know what I'm saying? It really isn't. Now, a lot of people just don't like chiropractic in general.
Yeah.
And they don't believe in it. They think it's all bullshit. Can I still?
I don't think it's bullshit, I think
Go
it
ahead.
hurts. I think they fuck you up and then they fix you and then they make it so you gotta show up all the time.
Well, you shouldn't go there unless you really have.
Do you know I haven't?
Well, that's the other thing. I did
Really
back then.
find
I just didn't get any help from it.
We haven't signed it yet.
I think I pulled a muscle back then, there was nothing ain't losing.
Okay, this is the one that happens.
It's not that I don't believe in it, I just did not get any relief from it. So,
Get any relief from what?
chiropractic, I just didn't get any relief from it.
It's like, what are the ones with the needles?
Acupuncture, I
Yeah,
tried that.
you know what, if you shove a needle in my face, when you pull it out, I'm gonna feel better, no matter how you look at it.
You never had acupuncture?
So guys,
Yeah, you didn't look at
are
it
we
that
up
way,
on,
did you?
are we up on,
Yes, we are.
damn,
Mark, those needles are so little you
I
can't
want to
feel
tell
them.
you guys something.
You literally can't feel them.
I can switch.
I'll tell you in a sec here. Yeah, whenever you can.
You want me to take it off?
Well, whenever you can. So.
Sacrificing your most valuable asset, the limited time you have on this earth for a paycheck? This is Dave Logan. You know, my friends at Online Trading Academy have been teaching powerful Wall Street techniques to Main Street investors for over 20 years. Sign up now for a free half-day class. Classes are limited. Online Trading Academy, the only financial educator I personally endorse. Reserve your free class by calling 303-547-3588 or tradingacademy.com.
Ideal Home Loans has a program to fit you. They can help you with debt consolidation.
We worked with a customer recently who called. They wanted to consolidate their bills. We were able to do that. They were saving a grand total of $1,100 a month. We showed them how to take $600 of that, apply it back towards their new mortgage. They are going to be completely debt-free, mortgage and all, in just over 12 years.
303-867-7000, 867-7000, idealhomeloans.com. Equal opportunity lender regulated by DORA, NMLS 136756. For terms and conditions, call 844-45-IDEAL.
On June 26th, Colorado can stand up for what's right, like Congressman Mike Kaufman always has. Mike joined the military at age 17, fought in 2 Iraq wars. As a veteran, he knows our military needs to stay strong, provide superior training and solid leadership to keep America safe. Congressman Kaufman knows keeping us safe starts with fully funding our defense priority, while keeping an eye on wasteful spending in the Defense Department and fighting for veterans' health care rights every day. Mike Kaufman has fought against the corruption and incompetence at the VA. He has championed America's veterans who've sacrificed greatly for this country. And Mike is fighting for Colorado's new energy economy too, reducing our carbon footprint and creating new jobs here. On June 26th, Colorado can stand up for what's right. June 26th, vote Mike Kaufman to Congress. Paid for by American Wind Action. This advertisement is not authorized or approved by any candidate or candidates committee.
This is the Troubleshooter Show.
Help, I need somebody.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down.
Hey, Tom Martino, your Troubleshooter. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. What's going on in your life? I ask that every day, and we try to solve problems, answer questions, take complaints, and make your life just a little easier. So all you have to do, if you need help, is call 303-713-TALK when we're on the air. 303-MARTINO works 24/7, 303-MARTINO. That means you can call in the middle of the night, unload, put it on the machine, we'll get it, and then we'll call you back. We'll get you on the air. If you call during the time we're on the air, it'll automatically come to us here in the studio. If you call in the office, it'll come to the office. We have a staff dedicated to helping you. Plus, we have the referral list, referralist.com. Yes, they are our experts and trusted advisors. Plus, this is how they choose to advertise, because they say, we don't just want to get our name out there, we want to help people. And so each and every day we have people from the referral list on to talk about their expertise if you need any help. Today we have David Salisbury talking about wills, probate, trusts, and all that other stuff. All right, he did my trust. He was just joking about it today with me, saying, now you got to do something. You see, a lot of people do trusts and then they don't fund them, meaning you have to literally transfer property into a trust for it to work. We'll talk about what a trust is and how you can use it. We'll also talk about anything on your mind. All you have to do is call. You got a problem, a question, complaint. Right now, you know, our biggest area of ripoff, we did have roofing because of the hail, and we'll still probably get roofing. By the way, this hour brought to you by a number of people who can help you when it comes to that. But I want to tell you that Genesis Total Exteriors, they are really making a big deal with the hailstorm, because they say they can go out and do it all. You know what they do? They do it all, meaning, if I had to sum that up, they can do the entire house, anything wrong with it, under one contract, so there are no subs involved. Or if there are, he takes care of it all and puts it on one thing, on one proposal. That's GenesisTotalExteriors.com. We also, of course, a lot of good people on the list that can take care of you. So remember to go to referrallist.com.
And you can chat with us now online.
Yeah, and don't get ripped off, really. You'll have so many door knockers. Oh, my God. You know, it's not automatic that a door knocker will rip you off. But what I mean is, if you look at all the rip-offs, the majority of them come from that category of door knockers. In other words, out of the door knockers, you have a better chance of getting ripped off than if you do your own shopping. A way better chance of getting ripped off. So that's not to say each and every door knocker is a ripoff. But let's go to the phones, okay? 303-713-TALK. I think you know, since I've been here, like, going on 40 years in Denver, that this is not a game, okay? I mean, you know, people like to throw stones at us.
But really, we're here to help, and we've been doing it. And all the people that try to put us down, none of them have been successful. You know, they say they're going to get us, they're going to sue us, they threaten us. They don't like what we do because what we do is unlike anyone else. We just call people what they are. If they're lying, cheating, rip-offs, we call them. If they're great, we call them. People say, how do you do that? How can you possibly do that? Well, we do it. You know, how can you call someone a rip-off and then turn around and do a commercial for someone else? Well, here's how I do that. Hey, you're a ripoff, and then I do a commercial for someone else. That's actually how it's done. The only thing you should be asking is it true? Now, that's the one thing. A conflict of interest is only when you create one. In other words, if I allowed those lying, cheating ripoffs to advertise just to get their money, and I didn't care what happened to consumers, I wouldn't deserve to be on the air a minute. But, of course, we don't do that. Before anyone can advertise here, they have to prove themselves and continually be monitored. Hey, Eric, you have a question for David Salisbury today, attorney at law. What is it, sir?
Hey, David, how's your Medicaid knowledge?
I have a fair amount of it. What's your question?
So this is going to be an odd one. My dad is currently in Medicaid pending status. He is in a long-term care facility, so we're going through all that. 2 weeks ago, he was on the way to the hospital in an ambulance. The woman who comes in from time to time and that we pay to help him, she was following 10 minutes behind it, driving his vehicle, and she was rear-ended. His vehicle is going to be totaled. No two ways about it. The money that we will probably be getting from the insurance on this, I am being told that Medicaid is going to take the settlement money that, for the vehicle, about $5,000, that Medicaid will probably take.
Well, just so you know, Eric, the money they're taking is not because it was for the vehicle. It's just that they get reimbursed for their medical. Okay, go ahead.
But the problem is now I have to replace one of my vehicles in order to have the ability to take him places, and that $5,000 could go a long way towards helping me replace one of my vehicles.
But the Medicaid payment that they made for him was for that particular accident?
No, Medicaid, no. This accident is completely separate from that.
So why, wait a minute. So, so to be eligible, they're taking that money. That's called a spend down. David, explain.
We probably won't get the insurance until the end of July.
Right, but explain, David, what happens if you're on Medicaid and you get my mom got a cash settlement one time for biting into something and breaking a tooth, a bridge. It really happened, and she was on Medicaid. So I said, Mom, you're going to have to pay that to them. You don't really get to keep money when you're on public assistance. And this was a while ago, and she said, well, that's, you know, I want to spend it, but you can't. You have to do it. And you can't give it to someone, wink, wink, and all of that. So explain that.
Well, basically you have to be, if you will, indigent in order to become eligible for Medicaid. And as you know, Eric, Medicaid covers nursing care, not assisted living. Some people think it's both, and it's not. But if you have money, they're going to say you've got to spend it. Now, I don't know how much it's going to cost per month for her.
But don't they allow her to spend it down before they come and get it? In other words, he's saying if she had legitimate expenses, she can spend it on herself. She can spend it
for that. Now,
well, what we were told, the one thing we were told is the $5,000 that he's going to get for his truck. They said that if we can replace the vehicle within 5 days, then we could keep the money. But the vehicle would have to be put in his name. Well, my dad hasn't driven in 8 months. He doesn't drive anymore.
Well, what they're saying is he's allowed to have a vehicle of a certain value. If that money is for the vehicle, then he can buy a vehicle. If it's not, you can't buy the vehicle for his use or to take him around. It's just not allowed, Eric. I mean, I understand your reasoning, but it's just not allowed. He can't put it in the bank, and he can't. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think he can use it for other necessities. I don't think he has to buy a vehicle.
He can. And the other thing, Eric, you might think of is to buy a new car, put his name on it as well as yours, You've got expenses of driving him around, so you could, that'd be another idea, to charge him for your time and effort. And then the other thing, and I'm not saying this would work, but you could have him assign his claim to you. And so that $5,000 wouldn't go to him.
Yeah, I don't think
it would go, I'm just saying, I don't know if that's an answer, but it may be. But why not take the $5,000 and invest it in put it in a new car?
Yeah, why not? If you need the car anyway, what difference does it make whose name is in it?
Well, that's just it. The thing is, the $5,000, he would have to be, I mean, you know, obviously I could put him on the title, but I'm going to have to finance the vehicle, and because he has no income, nobody would take him as a co-signer.
Okay, well, first of all, if he takes, if he puts the car, if he takes that $5,000 and buys a vehicle, you're saying the $5,000 wouldn't cover a vehicle. You'd have to finance one, and he can't get it financed.
Right.
Well, okay. I don't know what else to say, Eric. The money has to be used for him. It doesn't have to be a vehicle, okay? But it has to be used for him, by him, and he has to spend it.
Well, Eric, how much do you do for your dad?
Pretty much every day. Well, the woman who currently works with him, because I work around the clock, pretty much to provide for him at this point.
And what difference does it make, guys? I mean, David, why are you asking?
He could bill him.
Well, because he could bill him for his time and effort.
But
if you have someone taking care of him, the government's okay with that because it means they don't have to put you somewhere.
If it's reasonable.
If it's reasonable.
But he is, like I say, he is in a long-term care facility. He has a lady who comes in, and like she does his laundry.
Right.
And when he goes places previously,
here's what
she
counts.
would go with him to help
Here's
him out.
what counts. You want to know, with this $5,000 cash settlement, is there a way that you can use it to buy a vehicle because the vehicle is only to help him?
Right.
And I don't see any way of doing it. They're going to say, no, you can't buy the vehicle for you. And you're going to say, well, wait a minute. I'm just using it for a down payment. I'm going to finance it. And it's mostly for him. I'm using it to drive him everywhere he needs to go. They don't look at it that way. Okay, it just sounds weird, but they just don't look at it that way. Century RV for used RVs, new RVs of all kinds, whether it is a trailer, a fifth wheel, a motorhome, Class A, Class B, Class C. Well, they have a huge selection. Mark, what were you going to say?
Oh, man, I talked to them yesterday.
Hailstorm?
That's it.
Oh, my God. They have...
It's not a lot of damage. These are little things on top of the,
I know.
like the air conditioner units.
I know. They're talking about, like, mostly the roof and stuff and some plastic parts, but you can get huge savings on their hailstorm. Now, we'll be coming up on the show to talk about caveats about hail sales in general. But with Century RV, you're talking about an RV. This is something that won't affect the RV at all, but you save tons of money. And besides, they were having a blowout anyway for Cougar. Go see them, Century RV, 2 locations near I-25 and the 119 turnoff to Longmont. That is north of the city along Frontage Road, or just west of the city. It's in Lakewood, north of 6th Avenue, between Kipling and Sims, next to Woodley's, CentryRV.com, 303-453-1111.
This report is
Oh, yeah,
brought to you.
that makes perfect sense, David. And I don't understand why you can't buy a car for $5,000.
Or what would be wrong with him putting his $5,000?
Ah, check this guy
putting
out.
a title in his name.
Look
Or
at this.
They can't, if they've got the sign.
Look at
as
this.
the borrower, they can make them both the borrower.
Just on
or
the
the
inbox
son
on
of
our
the
Facebook.
Either way, they know they can.
K&H window
They have a
guy is
lien
here
on the car,
today and kicking butt.
okay? And they have a good.
Looks like they're doing a Windows
a borrower who's got good credit, assuming they're set.
I have a brother-in-law who just bought a 2010, I think it was, Lexus with hail damage.
Yeah.
But it only has 16,000 miles.
Was it some grandma or something?
Grandma someplace, and he paid $5,500 for it.
Did you see how much play I got on that damn one photo? Like 6,000? The one with the picture of the guy that put up, I only use referral people. 6,000.
You know what?
Did like 20 shares.
I got home in time. I live in Aurora off of Savannah. And luckily, I was home when my girlfriend was home, so
What's
we
that?
had it in
Doreen will be
the
quick
garage,
click
but
bait.
it was just wild. in her
Are the
backyard.
boxes over there?
I love storage lights out there.
They're fun to watch.
Are the boxes over
Half my
there?
wife's an insurance adjuster, so
Yeah.
I just hate it.
Those boxes and stuff, did you take to Doreen or?
No, she wasn't gonna be available till Friday, I think.
Well, okay. I don't know when we're gonna move her then, so she's
Well,
very
it's not
fucking
till-
hard to help
Yes,
at this
I know.
point.
Is she being a pain in the ass?
Well, I mean, she's telling us when we can drop boxes off.
Daphne
Real
will be
quick,
back
line
tomorrow and
2,
find out
David.
what-
I
David,
don't
so
even
you might
think
want to
about
just
it.
hear
I'll
this.
start getting fucking
This is
livid.
interesting. Doing a $30,000 remodel of her backyard. Contractor had cancer. He's had cancer a while. Mysteriously died a few weeks ago. He transferred all of his assets to his sister's name. His sister says there won't be any probate. Too bad, you're being insensitive, blah, blah. In the meantime, she's got an unfinished $30,000 job.
Well,
It's
that's
a
a
hot
fraudulent
mess.
transfer anyway, but how much did he, how much did she pay him
30 grand?
up front?
I would assume that's what she meant by I paid him 30 grand. I mean,
Like it wasn't overtime, is any of the work done, do you know?
a third.
Okay, so.
A third of it's done, and she's got the city owner saying code enforcement, saying this is causing flooding, all this BS, and
He maybe didn't do it intentionally, but I think he transferred everything on purpose.
he must have, and she said he
Oh, was
mysteriously
she
died
going
on the
after-
9th.
Was she, well, mysterious, I mean.
Well, no, what they're saying is he was fine, and they're not really,
So she doesn't think he's dead or what?
no, she just wonders if he transferred all of his assets and killed himself, but she didn't want to say that on the air. She just, I was like, how did he
But
die?
here's what I want to know, was she trying to get him to work while he was sick? Like, did he
I
know
think he
she
was
coming
fine,
after him?
Tom, and just died.
But did they have a normal relationship and then he died because, was he trying to evade her?
Oh, I don't think so, but it sounded like he died
He transferred
suddenly.
all his assets
The way
for a
she
reason.
put it is he died
But they're
suddenly in the middle of this
But
job.
that estate, that's supposed to be open to claims, so that could be a fraudulent transfer. But if he
I
did
think
it,
so, too.
especially if he had, if death was imminent or something, that's, I mean, you know, we talk about that all the time, but that's an estate debt. And we should
If
call
they
the
can
system.
get all those assets back.
But
it
if
should
it
be
was through
estate.
his company and not him personally.
We have to have a sleep brigade meeting, guys, we have to.
Yeah.
Thank you, Suzanne.
I mean, it's my fault, not yours, I keep saying this and I don't do it, but we really have to have it.
This moving company is as bad as they get, this AM Moving.
Where is it located?
Aurora.
Well, then we should go out there. I mean, it's that bad. A&M.
AM Movers, Aurora, they have some, when this happened.
He kept the guy's stuff. What's the main story? I heard you working on it. I heard you talking.
They used a broker out of Florida. It ended up with AM Movers here. AM Movers assigned it to driver. Then they lost that driver, got sick, and they give him every excuse in the world.
Did they lose this stuff or do they have it?
Chris, get back on.
They have it, but they don't want to tell the people where it is because they're looking for more money again.
What do you mean again? What was the original?
The original was like 11,000. They got it up to 18,500 now. Now they want another 3,000.
Why is that?
You know, sometimes people are their own worst enemy, though. Some of the shit they do, their stuff isn't even worth it. They get this ungodly attraction.
Almost any time, that's true.
Yeah. Agreed.
You want to save money? Art of Granite will save you money. There is no doubt. A direct stone importer, Art of Granite. Here's how it works. You call and you get a price on the phone. Mitch Floria will give you a price on the phone, and it's going to be within $100, maybe $200, depending on what you pick at the showroom. See, here's the step. You take some pictures and you get some square footage or some measurements. You call them, and Mitch Floria gives you a price, right? Then if you like the price, you go out and you pick your custom edges, sinks, cabinets, by the way, or wholesale, or no, above wholesale, a little markup from the manufacturer, but all counter material and stone, direct importer. He sells that straight across to you at wholesale. He charges for fabrication and installation, tear out and haul aways free. The bathroom's free when you have the kitchen done. And I know you hear all these big granite stores and depots and all that bragging about what they can do. If you shop, you'll find he's going to be a better value than even those big stores. Those big stores end up being more expensive, and you deal with all of the subcontractors. But you can trust Mitch Floria. He controls the entire transaction from beginning to end. 303-386 5919. Get your price on the phone, then shop around 303-386-5919, artofgranite.net. All right, what happens when you pay money up front and someone dies? Uh-oh. Well, let's talk. Deborah?
Yes.
Did you pay 30 grand up front?
No, actually, it was through the course of 4 weeks.
Okay, so over 4 weeks, you paid $30,000. Now I have to probably assume that during that 4 weeks, in order for you to pay that, he must have been making progress.
Yes, that was part of the contract. Initial upfront cost was $15,000, and then upon starting the retaining wall, a 2,800 square foot retaining wall,
graduated payments, and now you pay 30. And how much of the job is yet to be completed?
Oh my gosh, I would say we're actually backwards in it, because people we've had to come out to fix it say they have to redo what he's done because he didn't do it properly, number one. And number two, he's been off the job for over 2 weeks, and in that time frame, rain has come.
Hold on 1 second. We were told we have to take this news update on President Trump and the immigration policy. We'll go right to that. Stay tuned. We'll come right back to Deborah and all of your calls.
Much, everybody. I'll be leaving for Minnesota today. We have 2 stops, one a very big one, and it'll be a lot of fun. I know a lot of you are going with us, so that'll be interesting. We're meeting right now on immigration, and we are very strong at the border. We're very strong on security. We want security for our country. The Republicans want security and insist on security for our country, and we will have that. At the same time, we have compassion. We want to keep families together. It's very important. I'll be signing something in a little while that's going to do that, and the people in this room want to do that, and they're working on various pieces of legislation to get it done. But I'll be doing something that's somewhat preemptive, but ultimately will be matched by legislation, I'm sure. We're having a lot of problems with Democrats. They don't want to vote for anything. They don't care about lack of security. They really would like to have open borders where anybody in the world can just flow in, including from the Middle East, from anybody, anywhere. They can just flow into our country. Tremendous problems with that, tremendous crime caused by that. We're just not going to do it. I do want to say that because we're all so busy, and I just mentioned to the congressmen and the senators in the room that we are going to cancel and postpone tomorrow's congressional picnic. We have a congressional picnic tomorrow, and I was just walking over to the Oval Office and I said, you know, it doesn't feel right to have a picnic for Congress when we're working on doing something very important. We have many things that are important. We're talking about trade, we're talking about many, many things, but it didn't feel exactly right to me. So we will be officially postponing the congressional picnic for tomorrow. We'll make it another time when things are going extremely well. And they are going for the country extremely well. We have record-setting numbers in every way economically, but we want to solve this immigration problem, which is going on for 40 years more. It's been going on forever. And we want to see if we can solve it. So we are canceling or postponing the congressional picnic tomorrow. Would anybody in the room have any question or statement that you'd like to make while the press is here? Anybody? Anybody?
I'll say one, Mr. President.
Yes.
You know, on the issue of immigration, trade, and investment, these are all areas where Congress has a lot of authority under the Constitution, and you have authority. The executive branch has authority under the Constitution. I think that's why meetings like this are really important, bringing the leadership on both sides together because of important issues. So appreciate the opportunity to let you see our views, hear our views on these issues where we share authority on important matters. Thank you.
And we all very much have the same views. We want to keep family together. At the same time, we have to be strong on the border. Otherwise, you'll have millions of people coming up, not thousands like we have now. You'll have millions of people flowing up and just overtaking the country. We're not letting that happen. So we have to be very strong on the border, but at the same time, we want to be very compassionate. Yes, Lamar.
Mr. President, thanks for having us. I think what Dan said was good. We really have, on the issues on trade, on immigration, we have a partnership under the Constitution. We have some authority. The President has some authority. We need to work together. I was thinking this morning when we look at President Nixon's portrait in the White House, we think that he He did the unexpected and he went to China because he could do that. He was in a position to do it. And President Reagan did the unexpected. He went to the Berlin Wall in Moscow. And when we were here a year ago, I think I suggested to you that immigration, which has bedeviled us for 40 years, as you've said, I believe you're the president who can help us solve the immigration problem with your leadership. You may be able to do for immigration what Nixon did for China and Reagan did for the Soviet Union, and a lot of us would like to work with you on that.
Well, thank you, Lamar, very much. We need the Democrats' support because we need their votes. It's very simple. You know, people say we have a majority. Well, we have a one majority in the Senate. We need 60. Unfortunately, we don't go with the majority. We go with 60. Someday somebody will explain why, but that's the way it is. We need 60 votes. We have 51 votes at the most. So we need Democrat votes in order to do it. Otherwise, you can't do it. Tom, you were going to say...
All right. Let's continue with the Troubleshooter Show. That was President Trump addressing the media about the immigration policies of the U.S. and how he will make an executive order to keep families together, followed up by legislation. And if you have any concerns, problems, questions, or complaints, any concerns, that give us a call. Otherwise, let's keep going, okay? Now, Deborah basically said she paid $30 grand over a series of 4 weeks, and the guy was working. Now she has to redo stuff. Now, Deborah, you're going to make a long story short here, we can't go back, and you can't claim, it's going to be very difficult to claim you got zero value and try to get all your 30 grand back.
Right.
The best argument you're going to make is assign some value to it. Whatever the balance is, put in a claim in with the estate, but the sister claims the money's gone, and she's in for a rude awakening. We'll talk about that with David Salisbury, our estate attorney, coming up. Okay, so that all of that's coming up, along with Matt and a windshield with a golf ball. Ooh, what happens then? You'd be surprised. And then what about sleep apnea masks? We'll talk about that. And then an update on quality auto sound. And then Deputy Clint wants to warn us about a mover that is probably one of the biggest scumbags he's ever dealt with. AM Moving, and all of that is coming up. Let's talk about something great. Cam Solar, a solar company that has been around for years and years, moving into Colorado from Texas. They're expanding. They're not moving from, but they're expanding. They have 3,000 systems in operation, and they're putting in their systems in Colorado now. We have long looked for a great solar company to take over because we don't have any good companies on our referral list. Now we have Cam Solar, and here's what I like about them. They sell, they don't lease. Now, leasing isn't the end of the world, but with a sale, you buy it, no money out of pocket. You use your tax incentives to get through that without any money out of your pocket. Low-cost financing. You save money from day one, and you own it. If you sell the house, you just put it in with the price, and it does enhance the value when they don't have to lease it. So you have that going for you, plus a 20-year parts guarantee on all components and a 20-year performance guarantee on what it will generate and what it will save you. That is all in writing. Cam Solar. Go to this website, put in your information, and within 20 minutes, they will be back to you with a complete performance layout based on your lot. They do that through algorithms, through a satellite imagery, and through a special website. So you go here, go Cam, C-A-M, go Cam Solar.com, then put a / Troubleshooter. That's for our listeners, for a 20-minute analysis. They'll call you back or email you, and it's no obligation. Go CamSolar.com / Troubleshooter.
How can you call those people scumbags when, you know, I'm joking because you said before, how can you call them scumbags?
Yes. Which ones did I call?
In my opinion.
That's true. You know what? In one of my court cases, we talked about opinion. And then there's something else called humor, obvious humor. And you're allowed, humor is allowed, and you can't be held responsible. You know, I mean, you can't be, but humor is really protected a lot. And so we do that when I'm saying, you dirty, rotten scumbag, scum-sucking pig rolling in the mud, and the guy said, it's, sir, the visions of my client rolling in the mud, you know, defames him or puts him in a negative light.
What is he, a pig?
No, but here's the point. I said, and I didn't say this, but my attorney says, it's obvious hyperbole and humor, whether you laugh at it or not, you're up to you, but he obviously wasn't literally saying he rolls in the mud. But it's amazing how many people have sued me out of anger. I mean, really, in my career, it's not that many if you consider the actual times I've been to court. But when you consider the money they spent, this one woman with Corvette Denver, she had a guy working for her who was a deadbeat dad, and she didn't pay him. It was her husband, and he was married before and had kids. And I said, it's pretty obvious he's not working free. But, you know, he doesn't get paid, or he gets paid very little, right? And Corvette's Denver, and then she sued me because I implied she insinuated blah, blah, blah. No case at all. In fact, we had, we won, she appealed it, we won, she appealed it. She tried to go to the Supreme Court.
You're not going to take a case
The
like
woman,
that.
the only reason the woman stopped, she spent thousands and thousands of dollars.
Oh, if she went all the way to Supreme Court, she probably
She
spent.
didn't, they wouldn't hear it, but
They
she
wouldn't
went
hear
to the Court of Appeals,
She's got to be over $50,000.
oh, easily. And the thing about it is, the only reason she stopped, she died of cancer. She literally was coming to mediation sick. But this woman went to her grave just, I mean, I think it was unbalanced. She because I insinuated she was helping her husband avoid his responsibilities, and she was.
Yeah.
Man, was she
You got to pay people fair market value, whatever the value
Noella,
of their services.
Noella,
No more excuses, no more denials.
boys,
Get the help you need.
no, Corvette's,
Corvette cost. Call today for a free no
You know,
obligation
most people want to do the right thing. Boy, we do run against a few that are just, this guy here, he's just in this to just steal.
So is he charging her for storage? He won't give it to her, but he's charging her for
They
storage?
stuck it in storage, then he claims he doesn't know who has it, then he claims he doesn't know who the driver is, then he says the driver got sick and gave it to a friend and he doesn't know who that is, and it's going to be here tomorrow, the next day, the next day, the next day, the next day. Then it's supposed to show up today, now they want another $3,000.
It's amazing.
What's his reason for charging that extra?
I don't know, I'm trying to find that out, because the first upcharge was for weight.
Okay, I can see that.
So you don't lose your replacement proceeds. Hello, I'm Tom Marchino. Excel Roofing is the most.
I don't know, I just asked them that, what this upcharge is about, they don't know.
GE is no longer on the Dow.
Yeah,
They're the oldest member of the Dow.
Why? Because their stock's up. They got the emissions. But what does that mean now? Does that mean you can't trade the stock?
Oh, no, you can't. It's just that the Dow is one of the, things.
Prestigious.
And it's one of the things that they kind of follow.
New York
the
Stock
economy.
Exchange.
Yeah.
So are they going on the NASDAQ?
No, they're staying in the New York Stock Exchange.
Okay.
Just they're not one of the 40 on the Dow.
Oh, okay.
So it basically, they want ones that are, that portray the rest of the country. So Walgreens replaced them.
GE used to be quite the
Oh,
company.
GE
And who was the guy who came
One
in
of the
and
first,
re-
one of the first corporations in the United States.
It was the longest. They were on over
Wasn't
30
it
years.
one of the first actual corporations? And Ford, GE. What else was the other one?
He had some real sweethearted deals up to a
The old corps, GE and Ford, and there was one more. Because GE was Thomas Edison.
Wasn't
He started that company. Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center. When I say the name, I hope you remember them when you hear a friend or come across someone that needs help with tinnitus or lack of hearing loss. Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center right now is doing free trial periods with digital hearing aids at no cost to you. You get a hearing evaluation and then you do a test drive based on what you like.
And if you like it, you buy it. If not, there's no obligation. And this is for serious buyers. Plus $500 off premium hearing aids, digital hearing aids. They're wonderful. They interface with your cell phone. You can use them for Bluetooth, or you can use your phone to adjust them if you ever have to, like for certain situations, a concert, a meeting, stuff like that. It's really cool. Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center, 303-534-0163. 534-0163. So, Deborah, so we come up with something with some expert help maybe. You have to come up with what you're owed, and it's basically this. How much work did you get? Subtract it from $30,000 and the balance is due. So what is the value of the work done? Now, if the work was truly useless and did damage, but I find most of the time when a new contractor comes in, they want to do everything over. It's not because it's defective, it's because they don't want to mess with it. So you need someone truly unbiased to give you an idea of what value you've gotten. Then you go and collect from the estate. But she said that the money in the estate is gone. What did the sister actually say?
So when we talked to her this morning, we asked her if she planned on going to probate, and she said no, she's not going to probate. There's nothing to go to probate for.
Well, that means there's no transfers made. There's no transfer of deeded property probably, so there's no need for a probate. Is that right, David, or not?
Yeah, if you don't have to open a probate unless there's real property, you always have to for that. Or if your estate, when you add everything together other than real estate, doesn't exceed $68,000. But I was going to say, Tom, you know, I don't know, was this a corporation or a limited liability company he was running this business under?
Yeah, who did you do business with?
Yes, it was under an LLC.
Okay.
That's weird.
So they're saying that there was no money, there was nothing in the LLC. Either way, Tom and I were talking about it. Probably it was, if that property was transferred before his death, and it left obligations
for the
for the estate or the company if he's closing it down. That's a fraudulent conveyance.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You can't give away your assets, whether you're a corporation, limited liability, or individual, in order to make yourself not able to pay your current obligations. And you're part of a current obligation.
Right. He ran everything out of his home. It was a home-based business.
Well, it doesn't matter. You need to put in a claim. Now,
well, but if there's no probate,
right,
what is there to do? Now, you could force a probate or go after the corporation.
This is a
or
lot
LLC.
of money. I would sue her. I would sue the personal representative for mismanagement of the estate because they did not advertise for debts. You're supposed to, aren't you supposed to go out and look for debtors? I mean, for creditors.
If you open a probate, you have to publish a notice to creditors.
Okay, but then you're telling me then if I don't want to pay bills, I simply don't open a probate. And then
no, I'm not saying that.
Okay, so she did not open a probate. It's my belief she didn't open a probate on purpose to avoid creditors. So, and she kept the money. So I think, what do? Do you go after her personally, right?
Well, you can go after her. You could also try to open a probate on your own.
Now, how do you do that?
Well, you would have to do the forms. You'd have to give them notice, the family members notice.
Do you do that for people ever?
You know, I do, but this is going to involve litigation one way or the other, and I really shy away from it. But I could get you the name of someone who does litigation.
Can you get it started, though? Can you, to get her to open a probate, can you get that started?
Well, if I had all the information that I needed, yeah, I could.
And would a judge likely grant her the right to open a probate?
What probably will happen is she starts opening it, and they'll come in and challenge it, and then they're going to have to give reasons why there is no probate, and then we open the whole door about the money.
Now, if she opens probate, and let's say there isn't any money, let's just say the guy spent it, well, then the heirs aren't responsible. It's possible, Deborah, he just spent all this money, right?
Yeah, it's possible.
When she said there was no money, maybe there was no money. But if you can find money, that's where you do it. That's why I would sue her for the 20 grand or whatever, the 10 grand. I would sue her personally, and then and as part of my discovery, I would ask for any monies that were transferred from the estate.
I also would sue the LLC along with that.
Mm-hmm.
So that if all the money was in the LLC and she's saying, well, there's no estate, well, he has an ownership interest in the LLC, and that's where the money went.
Deborah, it's not going to be easy. It's not. And it's not something we can do on a phone call. You know, she's just going to say there was no money. But, you know, I think she's mistaking if she thinks she can just spend the money. She can't. Not if there was money. Now, if there was no money, you're screwed. Now, before you go and make a mistake, Deborah, on getting someone else to finish, please, we can help you find someone. But don't...
Because I'm active duty and my husband's a disabled veteran, we didn't have the 30 grand to begin with. We've saved up using Dave Ramsey for years just to remodel our backyard so our girls can have a safe place to play. And
oh, God, this is terrible.
We don't have that. We have a backyard that's running off into a major street in Colorado Springs, and we're getting citations for we need to pick it up. And we're at our wit's end.
Deborah, take pictures. Make sure you've got evidence if you do decide to sue.
Now, here's what we want to do. Okay, Deborah, let's give that woman a call, okay? Let's just give her a call for you and see if we can...
Today is the funeral of her brother, and I am not trying to interfere with her mourning the loss of her brother. I'm not a vindictive person. I'm not a person...
No, but if there's money in the estate and it's owed, you should do it. Deborah, give it a few days. Call us back. Suzanne, give her a back number for Deputy Clint, and we'll give that woman a call and say, look, we feel badly about this, but this happened, and you got to deal with it.
I went after a mother of 6 on Mother's Day when she ripped off a caller. I'm not kidding. I called her up on a Sunday.
Well, you know, rip-offs, I don't have sympathy for people who rip off, if that's the case. Now, this sister may have truly not inherited a dime, and she can't do anything. Matt, you were hit by a windshield driving past a golf course. Is that right? Or you were hit by a golf ball, I mean, not in the windshield, not by a windshield. Right, Matt?
Yeah, that's correct. I was on Hampton in between University and Colorado.
Is that John F. Kennedy or what? No, that's not Kennedy.
The Willis Chase. And the golf ball smoked my windshield and cracked it all up. And I pulled off, hopped the curb, drove on the golf course, trying to find out who did it. And there was a group putting there, so it probably wasn't them. And then another group.
Yeah, you can't.
They were all like, no. They were like, no, it wasn't us. It wasn't us. To the clubhouse, so I went there and filed a report, drove around.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Everyone denied it.
The golf course, if they make a good effort to keep balls off the thoroughfares, they're not going to be responsible to you if they make a good effort. They have to be totally negligent about it. So I don't think
Shouldn't they put up a net then, since it's right next to a major thoroughfare like that?
In some cases they do. In some cases they don't. They may feel it doesn't happen often enough, so they don't have to worry about it. Here's what I'm going to tell you, Matt. I think you're wasting time if you try to go after the golf course, okay? I think you're wasting time. Right. My opinion. Just because these guys know the business, they've been around, not just these guys, but I mean golf courses in general. When I talk about being negligent, we're talking about serious negligence, okay? Now, when it comes to individuals, you got to identify the individual, and yes, they could be responsible, yes.
The individual, but how would you know some kids didn't sneak on?
Well, you don't.
Course and do something.
Hold on, Matt, but that's the problem. Okay, now we're a little jammed up because of this news conference we just had, but we have a lot more to talk about, including Flexident we'll talk about, and getting your car fixed, because that's very, very, very important. And there are going to be a lot of ripoffs out there putting up tents, so hang on with that. Centennial Schultz provides true living stem cell therapy. You know, a lot of my commercials, like the one I just talked about, I do about fixing dents in cars, okay? It's battling the guys, the fly-by-nights. Well, you got a lot of fly-by-nights when it comes to stem cell therapy. You know, unfortunately, I can't just tell you about the wonderful things that Centennial Schultz does with the stem cell therapy, true living stem cells harvested from you at the time of injection. Now, you're going to hear a lot of crap from the competition, mainly because they lie and they cheat and they do not use true living stem cells, namely Stem Cell Institute of America and all of those stem cell people who use amniotic fluid and claim it's true living stem cells. It is not. Okay? That's all I have to say. No living stem cells in amniotic fluid that's shipped into clinics. If you want true stem cell therapy, Centeno Schultz. Now, what I have to tell you is this. You may not be a candidate for stem cell therapy, and Centeno Schultz will tell you that. And they'll suggest other therapies as well. And because they're MDs, and they have orthopedic doctors and surgeons and all of that, they can suggest other alternatives, including PRP. So give them a call for a true evaluation and true living stem cells, and stay away from the chiropractors peddling amniotic fluid. 303-963-9201, Centeno Schultz. You can't lie when it comes to science. 303-963-9201.
Will's case is a city.
What's that?
Is that a city golf course?
I don't know.
Will's case? They are. I think they have that immunity.
No, they only have immunity for maintenance and upkeep of property.
That doesn't even ring a small bell. The only people I got running on lawyers is price fixer.
They're not immune from negligence unless it's in the. They're not just immune automatically. The immunity has to do with specific infrastructure, with maintenance and repairs. Now, there is governmental immunity for a lot of different things, but if people are just negligent, they're not immune. That's why police are sued all the time and have to make big payments.
Identity theft protection has added Norton Security to help protect you.
I had to have one time a golf ball. And it was nothing.
Oh shit! You know what? Even if you find the guys, I mean, I don't even know how you find them. How do you find them?
Actually, I saw him tee off, and I just watched it come right off his club, right through my side window. I watched it happen. The golf course said they couldn't make him give it his information, and they said they wouldn't do anything.
Hey Tom, the number you get for Centeno Schultz is different than the number on the referral list. What should I use?
I know this is one they give me. I don't know. This is the one I've always used. I just don't know the answer to that. We have to check with them. We'll have to have DAP check and say, look, what do we need here? We need to know.
No wonder Babbel is the #1 selling language learning app in Europe. Try it for yourself.
It's a good one to check though with that. That happens more than once.
They got 2 1 stars.
Who? Has
on what?
Well, I guess it's Yelp is what it's grabbing.
2 stars?
Two that are 1 star.
What number do you have for me?
You know, I don't know.
I have. I mean, Tom said 963-9201.
Yeah. I hope
the website is 429-6448. That's what on the website on the referral list.
Opening and the post from Smoke and Food. So much to do from
Where did you get your number?
Saturday, June 23rd, right here on 630 K House.
See, sometimes we put some numbers on here so if someone calls from the number, they know it's a referral list.
Do you like these crowdsourcing sites for finding people to do things?
Refinancing your home loan is an easy way to save a lot of money.
Yes, I do. Do you like crowdsourcing?
For certain shit.
And mortgage interest rates are far more competitive than a student loan or credit card rate. I'm talking rates in the low single digits versus rates in the high double digits. Why don't you consolidate that high interest debt?
Like the Fiverr is stupid.
Your mortgage.
I mean,
you'll speak with a salary-based mortgage consultant.
How do you get people for
Customize
$5?
a loan to fit your needs. They're already saving customers up to $1,000 a month. Plus, there are no upfront fees at American Financing. You could close on your new loan in as fast as 10 days and may be able to postpone up to 60 days of mortgage payments. Get in touch with American Financing at 303-695-7000 or online at AmericanFinancing.net.
NMLS 182334, regulated by the Division of Real Estate.
Remember to click or call 811 before you begin any outdoor project that requires digging.
Thanks, 811, for helping me plant my new garden.
I couldn't have installed the new fence without you. Thanks, 811.
Our new swing set is really being enjoyed.
Did I tell that woman with the contractor to email someone? I don't remember saying to email or call someone. I told her she needs to find an expert and
Yeah, I don't think so. No.
We didn't tell her anything like that. We just said that it's going to be very difficult. She's going to have to sue the person in small claims court and open it up, or not in small claims, but sue them. And what I said was, Deputy Clint, let's have Deputy Clint, when she wants to, in a few days, have Deputy Clint call the sister. Deputy Clint, I said, call us back, but we can't promise anything. We'll just kind of try to put the fear of God in her.
See, why isn't this letting me log in? This is really fucking
They don't give a damn about kids. They don't separate families. All they want to do is blame each other.
630 KL, Denver's talk station.
If you have kids with crooked teeth, you got to look into the new orthodontics. It's called New Early Orthodontics. I just want to tell you what happens with kids. They can do it with adults in 2 years because they do it more aggressively. But with kids, like my kids started very early, and they use mouthpieces, and they wear them at night only. And it's straightening their teeth right now because it widens their palate. They're not doing any extractions or any surgeries. They just widen their palate. And then what happens is, toward the end, they wear regular braces. But the whole thing takes less time in braces than conventional orthodontics, and it's a better job because it's less trauma on the teeth, and it's cheaper. So I'm paying for 2 kids $280 a month for both kids. That's combined, only $280. That's like $140 each, and that is everything, right from beginning to end. And it's just an amazing procedure, and it's just, why would you not do it? It also straightens the jaw, aligns the mouth, so it does away with TMJ and future sleep apnea. It's called New Early Orthodontics for kids, NEO, New Early Orthodontics. They're right here in the Park Meadows area at the Lincoln Light Rail Station in Lone Tree. 303-690-0400. And you don't have to go that often. It's worth it, even if you're not near them, to go for this system. You'll save money, and it's a better job, and it's quicker. 303-690-0400. New Early Orthodontics, Dr. Kent Lawson. Okay, so we got to get a lot of this stuff in. And the one with the, we were just talking about, it's just something that we hear about all the time. 303, where did she go, Suzanne? Did she just hang up? Did that? 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Let's go to Nick right now. Nick, are you?
Yep, I'm here.
Nick, right now the Flexident business must be outrageous.
Like he must be in the hailstorm right now.
Yeah. Suzanne, is there a way that we can quiet that call down any way at all?
I think he's on the road.
Okay.
I have to wait till he's back.
All right. So, Nick,
how's that? Is that better?
It's way better. Listen, I got to ask you something. Flexident, paintless dent repair. I get this question all the time. It's very important. When can you not use Flexident? When? I mean,
when the metal is too far stretched out. We got a lot of that last year up there in the Golden area.
Even if the paint is still intact, you can't use it if you have too many, right?
Yep. It can actually stretch it out too bad where you just can't get the 100% repair out of it.
So, but you don't charge to take a look at it, do you?
Nope.
Now, if you take a look at my car, is it better I have you look at it first before I contact an adjuster?
Nah, at best is contact the adjuster, get a claim number, get in their system, and then call me.
Okay. And then if you can't do it, you'll just say, no, it's too far gone, right?
Yep.
And how do you judge that? Is it so many dings per, what, inch or foot?
Yeah, it has to do with the severity and how many there are. So
now, when you do it, does it weaken the car, the metal, at all? People ask that too.
That's what when they're overstretched, it can weaken the metal. That's when you're getting into baseball, softball size.
And that's why you don't do it if it's going to weaken the metal. In other words.
Yep. No, there was quite a few of them last year. I told you, go to a body shop, have your roof cut off. It's the best way to do it.
How far out are you right now, man?
I'm not too far out, believe it or not. This just happened, so
let's give his number.
They have multiple locations. They have appointments available. It's the preferred way to do it. It saves money. It looks better, and it doesn't devalue your car. because he'll tell you if it's too far gone. 303-619-6273, 619-6273. That's 303-619-6273, flexidentofcolorado.com. I went out to the Art of Granite, and I met...
Did a beautiful job.
Oh, Nick's good.
Yeah, and this is black, so.
Nick's the real deal, man.
I was hoping my car's total, but it's not.
No, no way. You probably got like me 3 or 4, and it fucking sucks. Did you look?
You know
How
what?
many you
I
had?
didn't look closely.
I probably had 3.
You know what? What color's your car, Mark?
What?
What color's your car?
White.
You're not standing.
No, it's possible. I went through the car wash on the way in.
Daphne's is black, and I counted about 50 on hers. So
Yeah, but that doesn't mean mine has that.
Yeah. See, Daphne was out front, wasn't she?
Well, she pulled around front. No, she was parked up back.
Oh, was she? Okay.
If she had 50,
Mine's a Hyundai, though.
It could be a little bit thicker. And she could have an aluminum hood.
Were you underneath the trees, too?
I don't even care about mine. Mine I'll turn in. What I give a shit about is that stupid other one I'm dealing with right now.
But you don't want to turn yours in if it's $1,000 deductible.
I didn't get in.
That's how much work I did.
Right, it's probably not much.
I only saw 3. I'd be curious if you can see more.
You got to get them in a. You can't see them in the sunlight. You got to be a flat light. Do you have any fluorescent lights in your garage that have long tubes? You can get under the fluorescent light.
I don't live in the 50s.
Who cares?
I got LEDs.
And really, who cares? And I don't mean that in a bad way, but what I'm saying is that...
If you can't see it, who cares?
Well,
that is
because
true.
you will see them in some lights.
Yeah, but if it's
I'd be surprised if you looked at mine and could show me
Maybe
more
they're
than...
you could be okay. But Daphne's had a lot.
What kind of vehicle she got?
That GL.
Oh, the Mercedes?
Mercedes, yeah.
Cheap shit, man.
And it could
garbage.
What is
Mercedes?
I wonder if they, you know...
Wouldn't it be
they're
funny
not-
if the Hyundai had less
Mark,
damage than the
Mark,
Mercedes?
they're not as elite as they used to be.
No, you kidding? They sell a $28,000 car.
The it could have an aluminum hood.
Not only that, in other countries, they're way the fuck cheaper. You realize that.
Oh God, yeah. Well, they don't have to have all the crazy stuff they have.
Oh, they're way cheaper, man.
The day after President Trump met with House Republicans here, Speaker Paul Ryan says they'll put a comprehensive immigration measure on the floor tomorrow of keeping families that illegally cross the border together.
They're going to throw them both in jail now. Fuck! Wouldn't that be funny if that was a fix?
So yesterday...
We're tossing them both in high max,
and
security
she
max.
originally called me to defend Dr. Dean
Florence.
when all of that went down.
Supermax.
And then,
Underground even.
Dr. Dean asked
Put them
her
with the
to do a news
population.
interview.
They got to share meals.
And then, but then since then, that was even as late as June 1st. But since then, he's admitted to her that she never got live stem cells and all this stuff. I just don't know what you, she's like,
Geez, you
no,
wonder why
she
the
called me
backers are
yesterday. She wants to know what she can do. She didn't want to come on. But she's like, I don't,
Well, but
I don't,
The old CEO ran his manager out.
I know, and that's why I
what
wondered,
happened?
He ran him down. He didn't pay.
I just wondered, what do you want me to do with her information? She wanted to talk to you.
I was going to say they have plenty of work.
Do you want to get her, you want me to just email you her info? Okay. Yeah, but he's like, I guess he admitted, I don't know, that all she was getting was amniotic or something, I don't know, anyway.
I'll just take marching orders.
Kind of weird. She goes, I was one of the ones calling Tom defending him.
Yeah, but if it's one of these, I mean...
Now I'm finding out he's admitting to all of this other stuff.
I can only move on Wednesdays at 10 p.m. Well, fucking have fun moving.
Well, I think they've said
Do they mention living stem cells in their seminars?
Seriously, man. I mean, that's what... Why couldn't you drop boxes off now? That, for the life of me, I can't
She
understand.
wanted me to drop the boxes off and take her over to show her another apartment. She wasn't able to do that until tomorrow or something. I don't know.
Okay, that makes a little more sense.
Yeah, that's all.
I thought you were saying that what we can't even drop boxes off now. It's
I've
like,
got the boxes in there, but
okay, that you left that part out the first time.
well, I don't know exactly what it is.
And then Dan goes overboard. Next thing you know, he's got her moving at 10 p.m.
I'm pretty sure she's moving Saturday, and I can get
This Saturday?
No, next Saturday. This Saturday's that movie.
She gotta be out by the first.
Something like that. Next Saturday,
Yeah.
if I don't have a stupid
Remember, you got that movie Saturday with Frank. It's on your calendar.
If she can put everything in the boxes,
Is it
we've
this
been
Saturday?
getting the taping and stuff.
You're not going?
I'm picking Addie up from State Patrol. We're at her ceremony. Oh, really? Hell yeah, I would be there.
When's that, Saturday?
Saturday's her graduation. It's a real big deal, you know.
It's this Saturday.
Yeah, the movie.
Yeah, this Saturday. The movie?
You should grab your kids, man. It's that huge movie, Jurassic World. It's going to be the blockbuster of the year.
Movie's 11, supposed to be there at 10:15.
He's doing giveaways. When you were gone, we gave away his last 10 tickets. It's already, we already promoted it. He's out of tickets. He's done. He rented the whole theater, man.
Okay, so it is. You're right. Oh my God, I gotta get him the go. He wants his commercials to play.
He made it sound like he already had them, but I don't know.
He doesn't have them where he can play them.
Oh, you mean he needs a different format? You want me to ask him, or are you asking him? Yeah, ask him. No. When you told me that, I was like,
I mean,
I was shocked. But did you see my almost choked? Did you see my last text where I said if he knew he'd be doing that, he's insane. If he didn't know, he didn't know. How do you not know? How do you not know you need that then? I mean, how do you not know that? How does that come up that quick? The reality is it doesn't.
Ideal Home Loans. Talk about how you can help home buyers. Ideal Home Purchase Plan.
I wonder what this executive order will say.
Your next home. For a free closing guarantee where we underwrite and approve your loan up front. Our home buyers.
All children from Honduras will be dropped off in Tijuana. Isn't it funny how Mexico won't take them though? We're the bad guys with Mexico, but let me tell you, they treat the Guatemalans like shit.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, of the Central America and South America, Mexico is considered a very well-to-do country.
Well, and it is compared to.
Yeah.
I mean, Guatemala, there's like, what is it down there? Like fucking bananas. Seriously, that's it.
Hello, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. We are here to help you in any way we can. So I ask you to call us at 303-MARTINO or 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. You hear me talk about become the banker overfunding life insurance in order to build a nest egg. Why would you do that? Well, it's not to buy life insurance. If you want life insurance and only life insurance, term is a great deal. But when it comes to investment, this kind of investment, there is you buy mutual company. A mutual company means you're part of the ownership, and they don't invest in stocks. And what you do is you buy just enough life insurance for the government to allow you to have a cash account with it. See, the government says if you have life insurance, you can overfund it on purpose to get a cash account. And the government wants you to be self-sufficient in older age. They don't want you depending on social services. So become the banker strategy teaches you how to do this. So you have an account and you have a life insurance policy. The purpose is not life insurance. Then you just keep putting money in monthly in your premium, and it's an inflated premium on purpose because the extra goes to you. And then the cost of insurance only about 1%. So then what you do is you earn 4% guaranteed plus 1% dividend, and you keep funding it. Tax-free that grows, so that's like 10% on the outside. When you want to borrow money, you borrow it to buy appliances or vacation, whatever, and pay yourself back like you would a credit card. And that shelters even more money because you pay yourself back a lot of interest. Then in retirement, you take checks monthly for the rest of your life, and then the life insurance policy ultimately pays off those loans. You never pay tax. It's that simple. Please look it up and give me feedback, especially if you've been to the seminar. BecomeTheBanker.info. BecomeTheBanker.info. Now, we have a follow-up on a problem with Randy on Quality Auto Sound. Now this was a very simple problem, and at first I was very upset with Quality Auto Sound. Then Deputy Clint called him and said, I'm sorry, Suzanne called, and Suzanne said, Tom, they're going to replace it. They just need time to reorder one. The bottom line is he did a backup cam. The backup cam did not work. They asked him to have his computer flashed at the dealer, and it's kind of like a rebooting, and see if that helps. That didn't help. So then they said, look, we custom ordered this, so we're going to order another one and replace it. And that was really the issue. Did they ever replace it, Randy?
They replaced it. It's working good, and the wife's happy, and if Mama's happy, everybody's happy.
You know, Randy, I'm really happy that they came through here. So do you think it was just miscommunication, or do you think we lit a fire? What do you think it was?
Oh, I think you lit a fire, definitely. It's been going on for over 3 months now.
Oh, okay. Well, Randy, I'm really happy, though, because at first you were telling me it didn't work, and they really were saying we don't give refunds on this special order. And I thought, well, that's ridiculous. If a special order doesn't work, it doesn't matter if it's a special order, right? I mean, but I'm glad it's working. What kind of car did you put it in?
2012 Jeep Liberty.
Oh, cool. Those Jeep Liberties are so in demand right now. You know you could sell that in a heartbeat if you put a sign on it in a parking lot. They are just unbelievable. And so are the Wranglers and the Scouts. So, Randy, thank you. You know, I like backup cams. I love them, as a matter of fact. I don't know how I lived without them, even though all you have to do is turn around, plus use your rear view. Does anyone here not like them? I love them.
I can't live without mine now,
I
Tom.
love them. And they are so accurate. I'll just admit this. I use it all the time, and you can depend on that better than you can your mirrors. With the green line there. And believe me, when the red says you're going to hit something, you're going to hit something.
Hooking up a trailer hitch becomes a no-brainer.
What a good I never thought of that. Spencer has an insurance question. Spencer, what's going on?
Hello. Yeah, I basically, if you want the whole story, I basically went to a dealership on the 29th, bought a car, drove off the lot thinking I was insured.
The 29th of what?
May, sorry.
Okay, that's okay, that's okay. And you thought you were insured. Now, obviously, if you have insurance, it extends to your new purchase for 30 days usually.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what the dealership told me. So
yeah.
Drove off the lot.
But it only extends the coverage you have. It doesn't add coverage. So if you had an older car that had just liability, the new car will have just liability, but the dealers usually check on that.
Okay. But his insurance company...
We don't know what happened.
No, I chatted with this guy. I told him to call in. But the insurance company, listen to this, isn't even paying the other guy. This guy caused the accident. They're not paying the liability portion because they're saying he purchased it out of state, which makes no sense. Do I have that right?
Yeah, it's something like that.
First of all, your original car, where's it titled and insured?
Kansas.
Kansas. And where'd you buy the new car?
Here in Colorado.
And they're saying because you were out of state, it does not extend.
Something to that effect.
Well, it's or something like, is that it or not? Okay. So
they basically, the guy called, the other party called, and they said they weren't going to pay.
Now, how badly did it damage the car?
My car was totaled since in the accident. I forgot. I actually don't remember the accident.
Did you have liability? Did you have collision coverage on your previous car?
I had liability.
So you have no insurance. You're out completely. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Yeah. How? By the way, Spencer, how are you dealing with that, man? Like, what are you going to do?
I don't know. I've been talking to a lawyer trying to get the policy transferred over to Colorado.
No, wait a minute. For the liability. But no matter what, you do understand under no circumstances would you have collision, right? You do understand that part, right?
He does now.
I mean, yeah, I do now.
I mean, if they transfer your coverage, they only transfer your coverage. You didn't have coverage.
It's shocking the dealer didn't pick up on this,
Why
but it doesn't matter.
What dealer was this?
Sorry, what?
What dealer in Denver, Colorado, or in Colorado?
I purchased it through Shortline Subaru.
Now, they didn't
in Aurora.
They didn't even ask if it was insured?
They just asked for proof of insurance, so I handed them my old insurance, thinking that's what they wanted.
Well, that's what
so
they want.
That's
what they want.
Took that and photocopied it, and then they let me drive off the lot. They said everything was fine and that the old stuff would cover it.
When did the accident happen?
The same night.
I'm wondering if it was technically still their car. Hold on.
It was like 20 minutes after.
20 minutes after. Brian Burns was with Compass Insurance Group, our insurance experts, and home of the famous insurance checkup. Now, Brian.
Yes.
If you buy a car and 20 minutes later you're in a wreck, and if it was technically transferred, your insurance usually carries over to the new purchase for a 30-day window, right? Usually.
Or a certain period of time. You're right. Yeah, 30 days is common. I've seen 15.
10 days, right.
So, yeah.
Okay, so the question here, if he only had liability, only liability transfers, right? Obviously, if he can't transfer what he doesn't have.
However, a caveat to that, I don't think it probably is the case here. But just remember, even if you had, let's say you had 3 cars and 2 of them have liability only, but one of them did have collision and comprehensive, most insurance contracts say the best coverage in the household transfers to that new car. So if you even have a different car that did have collision, then there's a great possibility that that would extend to this new car. But I'm guessing you only had the one car, is that right?
Yeah, I was actually under my dad's policy at the time.
Hold on.
As the primary insured driver, sorry.
But hold on, that's good news. It was under your dad's policy.
Yeah.
Your dad has other cars?
He has a few, yeah.
Well,
I'm not sure what the insurance is on those.
It's possible that one of those cars has collision coverage.
Yeah. I don't know, though, if his dad's not on title here, right?
His name was on the insurance card that I handed the dealership.
Was it on the title of the vehicle?
The new one, no.
Oh, okay. What about the old one?
The old one, yes.
Well, so hold on, Brian. What if it's on the car that's insured, the older one, and he buys a new one, but it's not on the new one? Does title matter if the insurance company obviously insured it?
It's an argument to make. I'd be happy to try to make the argument. I don't know with him going, and it's only, this new car is only in the son's name. I just don't know if the insurance from the dad would extend. We'd have to look at what the policy says on that.
Then the only other, well, not the only, Mark has some questions, but what about the out-of-state thing? They said they're not even going to transfer the basic liability because it's a different state.
That should make no difference at all. I don't even know what they're talking about there. Your insurance transfers to every state that you're in the continental United States.
He had a car registered and insured in Kansas. He comes to Denver. He trades his car in and drives away and wrecks it 20 minutes later. They say, nope, you were out of state. I think they're just telling him that to make him go away. Now, what did you want to say?
That one doesn't make sense to me.
Here's the part here's the part that doesn't make sense to me, Brian. Hopefully you can explain this. If my son Miles right now, who's 18 years old, but he drives around in a car that I own and that I insure, if he goes out to Shortline or wherever and decides to buy a new car tomorrow and I know nothing about it, if he goes out, buys a new car in his name, are you saying my insurance would follow him to that?
He just said no.
My point to you on that is I don't think they would.
I don't even understand the logic why it would, though.
Mark, it always does. Well, not always, but most insurance policies do that as a grace, as an added
I understand that. I think the state makes them do that.
No, I don't.
Well, it's contract based. It's in the contract.
It's not law based,
but the point is that you're not the one buying it. I
Correct.
agree with you there.
Now,
that's
but when he says there's an argument, I don't even understand what the argument would be. I'd be livid if it affected my insurance at this point.
Well, guess what? It probably would affect your insurance anyway if he was living with you. It doesn't matter. But here's the thing. If he went out and bought a car, that's what Brian's saying. Usually you have to be on title. But Brian, we insure a car for a kid that's not on title. So I mean, you're telling me when you have a kid and the car is in their name, you cannot insure it.
You technically don't have an insurable interest. A lot of underwriters will give leeway on that if they're in the household and using the vehicles. They'll let you get away with that. But technically, because what happens is on that car, if it gets totaled, they're going to make the check out and pay the parents or the insured in this case, and the insured isn't really the one that owns the car. So that's why it gets a little complicated.
So all parents out there, what we're saying is this. If you want to have a car for your kid in your household and you want to insure it, to be safe, you want to be on title with the child.
That's right.
Or just be on title and he uses it.
That's right, either way.
Okay. So are you on the title of your kids' cars?
Well, he just turned 18. I own the car. Yeah, I am the title.
Okay. It's not co-titled?
No.
Okay. So do you know, Spencer, your situation on title? You said you were both on the first title.
I think so. It's been a long time.
Okay.
Because I've had that car forever, basically.
Okay. So now, does your dad know about this accident?
Oh yeah.
How old is the caller?
For the new car, all your problems would probably go away here if your dad was on title for this new car.
How old are you, man?
I'm 28 now.
Wouldn't it be nice if, like, even high schools or colleges or someone explained this basic crap before people exited, get into real life?
I've been saying that for years. If they just had a basic high school course on real life.
This is something most people would not know.
On checkbooks.
Yep.
Debit cards, credit cards, how they work.
Co-signing,
insurance. I think a basic course on consumer education.
But no, they want to teach knitting and how to break brownies.
It should be mandatory. What did you want, Clint?
Tom, Spencer, was that car financed?
Spencer, was the car financed?
Yeah, the new one was.
They're just, the credit union's going to come after them.
No, hold on. No. Listen, if that car was financed, there's a good chance there was something called forced insurance that will take effect. That dealer is not going to take it in the shorts.
I don't know, man, because it happened the second he drove off the lot.
The dealer has already theoretically on paper been paid. The finance company, I can't believe...
They probably didn't shop it yet.
No, I can't believe... Well, somebody had to make sure the collateral was covered.
Well, I'm saying they probably ran the credit report.
The
credit report was fine.
The dealer was the agent for the insurance company, and the dealer let the insurance company down one way or the other. They did. Excuse me. Let the finance company down one way or the other. Who's it financed through, Spencer?
I believe it's Chase.
Well, you better tell Chase and talk to them and ask if there was any forced insurance, because there is no way you can pay that car off and you will be forced to take bankruptcy.
Or the dealer, the dealer themselves has some kind of policy for these weird
What do you
things.
think, Brian, does the dealer have insurance for this kind of situation? I have to bring him up. Sorry. Hold on. Brian.
I totally agree with you with the finance. I totally agree with you. The finance company would have forced place, but with it being so brand new, where is it in that that period of time? I don't know what the dealer does.
Now, by the way, Sam has a comment we can't take right now. We'll hold Sam and we'll come back to you. All right. The Raleigh House is a place for addiction treatment. This commercial is not about enrolling for addiction treatment, although they're happy to have you if they have a vacancy. They have multiple locations in Denver. The purpose of this commercial is to let you know about their free service available all the time, whether you go to the Raleigh House ever or not. If you have an addict in your life somewhere, as a friend, a neighbor, a relative, and you want to help, you need information. You want to know about the habits. You want to know about the specifics. You want to know about some of the signs. You want to know how to approach them. You want to know how dangerous is it, and where can they get treatment. In addition to Raleigh House, what else is available? Does insurance pay? How long does it take? How much does it cost? You want to know everything about this addiction to help the addict in your life. And the Raleigh House will give you confidential, private, caring information to help you help them. Or just for your curiosity, so you know what not to say. 893-5559. This is a free information line, 720-893-5559.
You had to have it so they could take the cars.
We have a dealership.
Well, plus you signed it.
I don't know if we still have it. But we
I know. Contractually, he signed something saying he has insurance.
Problem is,
no matter what.
We, as a dealership, so we have an
I'm
insurance.
gonna limit it to
lender
1
single
hour.
interest or vendor single interest.
I need
It
one
covers
lunch
the
an
loan.
hour.
So I'm gonna cover anything that's a loan. If for some reason the guy drops
We're gonna all
insurance
breakfast
or anything else, that insurance automatically steps in.
Wait, what did I just do?
They add it to
Raleigh.
but it steps in for us. If we don't, if the guy lied to us about insurance, everything else, our vendor
So
single.
what have to have insurance and only drop it a month later?
Yeah, that vendor single interest steps in.
They do that all the time.
Well, like I say, that happened to mine, it didn't happen.
What?
My son.
What did?
The kid that he's co-signed for had insurance through his mom. 2 months later, he dropped it, had an accident, totaled it.
Was the car financed?
Car's
They didn't have
financed,
time to
there was
place the
Belco.
insurance.
No, but Forza insurance is automatic. It's automatically on it. Automatically. When
There is no coverage.
right, it's a blanket.
But they'll still subrogate.
Yeah, ours is called vendor
They'll still
single
come
interest.
after them, but it's
So that's what happened. The credit union actually got. Well, I don't know. Now that I think about it, if they were self-insured, if you will, the credit union,
I can ask
They said
they might do their own forced
Doesn't matter what
insurance.
They say. They are owed the money, whether they got paid or not. They're owed the money.
Yeah, but you see what I'm saying? If they know there's no insurance, they start charging each month for that insurance.
No, I understand.
They said they didn't know he didn't have insurance.
Yeah, and they probably didn't.
Yeah, but forced coverage, not knowing it's still in place, they just don't charge them for it. But it's still, lenders have this covered. They don't want to be burned. This happens all the
They
time.
probably self-covered up to one point, and then over that, they truly have a policy on every vehicle,
It's a blanket.
every loan.
But man,
And then, if they are I bet most of them are self like that.
I don't know. Why would you say that? Most of them are so.
I would say, I don't know what the failure rate is on the loans like a credit union would do, like his son. What credit union? Belco? Yeah, see, I mean, Belco doesn't loan, it doesn't loan to high-risk shit, so I would think maybe you're better off self-insured, but I don't know. Look at Walmart, they're self-insured.
Diana Watansky, our office manager. She's been with AIM since the start in 2001. Whether you call or come in, she will make you feel like family. Many say she would make friends with a blade of grass. If you really want to be treated...
So Trump, that executive order is going to make Ted Cruz go down there and shake hands with every child.
895-0500. At AIM, all of our staff put you first.
No, not that. Anything but that. We want to go to the cages. Do you see the pictures on of Obama's though? Holy shit, man! Look at this one, front page of Drudge. That's the weird part, is all those original pictures. Look, cages and wrap them in foil. I don't understand the foil thing. I think they're just solar blankets.
Strategically delivered with guided injections. Only MDs deliver the injection.
But when they first found out, oh shit, these are pictures from when we were in charge, they were shitting bricks, man.
With no MDs
Like the media's going to cover that.
Dental Schultz can help you with painful joints, knees, hips, back, shoulders, hands. They can repair most ACL tears with a needle instead of a knife. Before you have surgery, consult
I gotta get that down.
at 303-963-9201. Explore your options at a true medical regenerative clinic. Centeno Schultz, 303-963-9201. 303-963-9201. And on my referral list at referralist.com.
If you owe the IRS, they want their money. Do whatever it takes to get it. But truth is, they would rather settle for less than bother you more. That's why they're offering the Fresh Start program to help you solve your tax problem for good. You may qualify for a settlement that saves you thousands.
For this custom, we'll create a new field called random number.
So where are you moving to, David? Where's your new house at?
I'm living with my girlfriend now.
Oh, okay.
Did you sell your place?
It's on the market, so hopefully within, it should
So
say within a couple.
it's serious.
I'm hoping a couple of weeks.
I mean,
because
it's
the
serious
house.
then if you're going to sell your home and move in with her. That's
Oh yeah, no, I'm
Oh,
already
God.
moved in, and my son moved out. I got my son a place back in February, and then it took us a few months.
A week?
2 weeks?
Better Wednesday.
2.5 years.
Shotguns?
Yeah.
Bright Light Chiropractic.
Deputy Dan went yesterday. I did too. I'm going again today. I'm doing a bit of an intensive for a specific thing, and then I will do maintenance. But here's what it is. You get a complete evaluation at Bright Light Chiropractic, a complete evaluation for just $50. You get adjustments starting at $30 to $50, depending on how many you get. Never more than 50. Now, he'll do both the evaluation and the adjustment for $75 as a special, 50 plus 25 only. Now, here's the deal. The evaluation is complete digital x-rays, thermal scans, consultation, the whole deal for just $50. It's amazing what he does for $50. And then you only need that when you initially start. And then maybe every several years or so. But just get under his care. You will love him. He's a gentle, targeted, wonderful chiropractor that does chiropractic. It's just a breath of fresh air right now with all these chiropractors trying to do other things. It's Bright Light Chiropractic, and man, I can't say enough about it. BrightenYourLife.com. That's where you go to make appointments. BrightenYourLife.
Brighten your family.
I'm sorry. God, you're so right. Man, what's happening to me? I got to brighten my brain. BrightenYourFamily.com. BrightenYourFamily.com. He's over at University and County Line, 720-583-4506. Plenty of parking, very convenient, right off of 470, 720-583-4506, BrightenYourFamily.com.
I don't like that website.
Which one?
Brighten Your Family.
I love it. Why don't you like it?
I don't know.
I like it.
I don't know.
It's easy to.
Let's have them change it.
Okay. I always give recommendations, but I like this one. Now, Sam is an adjuster. He has a comment on this. When you buy a new car, most policies, it's a contractual thing, by the way, and most policies allow for a 30-day grace period before you have to, and they give you coverage on that, and whatever coverage you have, they transfer. Sam, what did you want to say on that?
I just wanted to point out that the agent said that the broadest coverage on any car in the policy can apply.
No, he did not. He said in some cases he has seen where they will transfer a collision from another car even if it wasn't on the car he traded. He did not say it always happens or most of the time.
And I just want to point out that that is usually the case for a new vehicle that is being added to the policy. So if you had three on the before you bought the car and you're buying a fourth car and there's going to be 4 cars on the policy going forward,
I'd agree with that.
That's usually when it applies the broadest coverage.
No, when I just bought.
But that's good, Sam. Thank you.
When I just bought Adeline's new car, we didn't trade anything in. We were buying a new vehicle. It automatically went to the highest one in our other group of cars.
Ryan?
Right. Yes.
So that clarification is probably why we've seen that from time to time.
Right, yeah. So you're buying another car. I hear what the adjuster, I heard what he said. Yeah,
well,
so you're buying another car, and it's just, my point is, it's not necessarily going to the lowest value car. You're getting the best coverage in that case with most policies that I see.
Sam, I have a question for you, bro. Okay?
Yep.
If I get a hailstorm, and it's not bad enough to total my car, and I find another hailstorm and another, but I don't tell you, how do you know it was from more than one hailstorm?
That's a good question.
I mean, I listen, I'm not encouraging people to cheat. I'm kind of kidding around. But I often wonder that. Like, if people don't want to pay multiple deductibles or they truly want to get rid of the car or something, how would you know? I mean, if we're having a hailstorm every few days, I can become a storm chaser, basically, and just park. But is there a way to know? Like, have you had people try to sneak in damage?
I'm sure we have.
You know, like a ball-peen hammer or something. Tell me, Sam, exactly how do I mimic hail?
A paintball gun with small little ice cubes.
So anyway, Brian, thank you very much for your time at Compass Insurance Group, 303-996-9000, home of the free insurance checkup. So, Spencer, you're crap out of luck, as they say. Sorry. I'm sorry. Ben has a sleep apnea thing. Ben?
Hey, Tom, my man.
Yeah. Do you have sleep apnea?
Well, you always like to go right to the facts.
Not all the time.
Well, right for about a year and a half, I've been having breathing problems during the day, fatigue, whatever. But I went to several doctors, and finally they called today, and they said that I have a severe sleep apnea.
Sleep
They're
apnea,
saying
right.
that every 30 seconds or so I'm not breathing.
Yeah, you know what? I have a bad sleep apnea too. I had like 60 events in an hour or something, like crazy. I mean, maybe not that many, but I had a bad one, and I had it all taken care of with a dental appliance. I don't recommend. Now, listen, I'm not a doctor. There are some cases doctors say you must have the C-crap machine, or CPAP. I call it C-crap, and it's the kind of investment you buy and not use. After a while, they suck. But I know a lot of people though that do them.
Well, Tom, here's the reason I'm calling you. They called today and told me what my problem is.
Yeah.
And my ass, I don't know. They did the apnea study, we're talked about. Now, can you travel?
Did you do a sleep study?
Oh, God, yes.
You went to a sleep lab?
Yes, I did.
My goodness, they have overnight tests you can do at home now. I don't know why you had to do that. I went to a sleep lab years ago. Then I did a home study. And I do have sleep apnea, but listen, I had it. It's not cured. It's, you deal with it.
It's not curable?
No, well, actually, I shouldn't. There are some sleep apneas caused by obstructions that can be surgically removed or altered. There are some other sleep apneas caused by weight. When you lose weight, they go away. Others are caused by misaligned jaws.
TMJ.
Yep, TMJ, or a form of that can cause that. And you can cure those. But there are some sleep apneas that are just there, and you deal with those either with a CPAP machine or with a mouthpiece. I use a mouthpiece, and I had pretty severe apnea, and that mouthpiece has made a world of difference. Plus, it helps your teeth anyway, because at night a lot of people have a tendency to grind, and it wears down your teeth over time. And I love this thing. It's small. It's light. Have you investigated those dental appliances?
Tom, just today I got the call from the pharmacist saying that you have severe.
We have that good guy that was on the referral list. What's his name? He's a good guy.
I forget, man.
We're going to give you that recommendation. He's a good guy. And
I didn't realize this guy said that it happens to him all the time during the day.
Yeah, that part. No, I think what he is saying, maybe not, Ben, is that you're feeling the effects of it during the day, but you don't actually stop breathing during the day.
Well, Tom, if I bend over during the day to tie my shoes, I swear to God I'm out of breath.
Yeah, you may want to have yourself just worked up. You might just have to have, you might want a physical, you know what I'm saying, just in general. But you may be suffering that from the sleep apnea. But no matter what, the sleep apnea has to be dealt with. But you could have other problems that if they didn't check for, you could have some kind of obstructive lung disease or some kind of cardiopulmonary hypertension or something.
No, Tom, listen, I have had doctor scopes through my heart.
Okay,
you've had EKGs, you name it, I've had it.
Then maybe that's good news. If it's all coming from a sleep apnea, that's good news. This dentist, Suzanne, could you get the name of the guy that was on our referral list? If you can get a hold...
Kevin Berry?
Kevin, the one that was, he used to come on the show just recently.
Was that Kevin Berry?
Yeah, I think so.
TMJ and sleep apnea guy?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Give him the number.
All right.
All right, Ben, go to this guy. He'll be the first to tell you if he can't do it due to the... the nature of it, because some have to have a CPAP machine. But your other question, Ben, was about traveling. Yes, you can travel with those machines. Absolutely. Yes, they make very compact little machines you can take with you everywhere you go. Brent Iverson is talking about custom term loans. Why? Because some people want to jump on the bandwagon. They want to get a lower rate. But let's say they have 18 years left on their loan, or 22 years, or 26 years. They don't want to go back to 30. What happens then? Brent Iverson.
Well, Tom, the great thing is we can give you a new loan for whatever term you have remaining. And this is working out in a number of instances, not only with people looking to refinance, because if you've made that 6 or 7 years worth of progress on your current mortgage, You're right. You don't want to go back to a 30-year loan and start over, and you can't necessarily afford going to a shorter-term mortgage with a 20-year, but we're also seeing this on people buying homes. We have a number of people that are looking at a target retirement date. They want to have their home paid off by this date, and when they meet with their wealth management provider, they're told that, hey, you've got to have your mortgage paid off in 12 years or 13 years or 17 years. We can do this on purchases as well. This works not only for refinance transactions, but for purchase transactions if you need be.
A total custom term loan, or of course any kind of loan, they have one to fit you. Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan. IdealHomeLoans.com. 303-867-7000.
My insurance lady confirmed everything they said about that. Has to be insured.
A friend of my dad's died with sleep apnea waiting for a CPAP machine.
Oh my God.
Died of that? People dying.
Died?
Yeah, in the sleep. Of sleep apnea.
That sucks.
I've heard of the threat, but I've never actually seen. I mean, I always thought it was a little bit.
Oh, no. They just don't start breathing.
Yeah, they died. That sucks, dude. Waiting for it.
Waiting for it. He was diagnosed with it.
My dad barely uses his.
Market gains only and receive none of the down ever? Is this possible? Yes, it is. Does such a strategy exist?
Does your girlfriend charge you rent? David?
Well, I mean, I pay my share. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Is it with kindness and good luck?
Kindness and good luck.
You know what? There's a value to having me in the house.
He did her will.
Absolutely.
And left everything to him. Sign here, honey.
What is it? It's nothing.
It's for dinner reservations.
There you go.
Hard illegal drugs, or to mental health issues, anxiety, depression, or trauma related to substance abuse, please know you're not alone. There's help. Call the Raleigh House today. They've established a special number to address your concerns. 720-893-5559.
You guys are so funny.
The Raleigh House is a
Keeps us young.
located here in Colorado. You'll speak to
The
someone
immature part.
about different
Yeah, you're right. It does keep you young.
designed to help reduce substance abuse. No more excuses, no more denials. Get the help you need. Some health insurance covers the cost. Call today for a free, no obligation consultation. The Raleigh House, 720-893-5559. 720.
How long
You know what I'm probably going to get for the house? I'll be honest with you. That house isn't worth that.
Yeah, you're blown away.
I mean, it just isn't worth what people are selling them for.
It's really amazing.
So, you know, I'm not going to, I wouldn't look you in the eye and say, well, damn, I'd buy that house for that, because I wouldn't.
I know.
But, you know, I don't live there anymore. I don't plan to go back. And it's a windfall. I consider it a windfall.
Yeah. No, it's just, that's why I say it's so tough for kids coming out, you know, to buy a house.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you can in this area. I mean, unless you have,
Yeah,
you know, your parents are helping you or something.
Right.
My grandson's
Or if they can get your kid to co-sign. His kid co-signed. You ready for this?
What's that now?
Co-signed for his buddy's car for $200.
And he never got it.
And he never even got the $200.
You ever wanted to refinance your mortgage?
Wow.
And it went bad. It went as bad as it could.
Dropped insurance.
Quit making payments, dropped it. It couldn't have gone worse.
Can I assume they don't get together for beers anymore?
Oh,
Can't find out where he lives.
the thing was totaled. He found it. Him and I went out and saw it one day.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
My grandson's 20. He and his girlfriend just bought a 3-bedroom house down in Phoenix.
Phoenix is cheap, man.
Yeah. A nice house.
Who the hell would want to live there? It's so hot.
60.
Ooh, I bet you that's jumped up
Yeah.
Everything else, but that's a nice house in Phoenix, man.
Yeah, it's up in Desert Hills.
It's not in Phoenix, then.
No, it's north of Phoenix.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, what are the-
Phoenix is cheap.
What are the utility bills down there in the summer?
Oh, gosh, awful.
Like what?
The older houses weren't insulated.
Sure.
The newer ones aren't real bad, but they can be $1,000. Some of the big old houses aren't insulated, especially the ones that were made out of block, cinder block and stucco and stuff. They're not there's no insulation.
But I get pissed off my water bills over $100 here.
But they're, I know their water bills are cheap there because they don't grow anything. They do desert lawns, and they don't have much heating bills.
Unless they have a pool.
Yeah, a lot of them. Yeah.
If I was in Phoenix, I'd have a pool. There's certain places you want a pool.
Oh, you would definitely want a pool in Phoenix.
Yeah. So.
Just to be able to go out there and jump it in at night to cool you off.
I bet during the day your pool would be miserable.
My grandson,
I was in my grandmother's apartment pool before in Phoenix, and man, it sucked in the summer.
So you gotta watch it so it doesn't green up.
Hi, Tom Martino. You heard about IdealHomeLoans.com? Well, if you're buying a home, you want to take advantage of the current rates, use Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. I talk about how he sells homes for cheaper and for more, and for less time. Well, he'll buy you houses cheaper. How does he do that on both sides? Because he knows what he's doing. He just does, and he has proof. He has stats to show up, plus he has thousands and thousands of satisfied customers. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. He's a guy that I will stake my reputation on. Seriously, that's how much I believe in what he does. He is so good at what he does. Okay, Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Let's talk. We have Bradley, who has a Visa question. Not Visa credit card, but like a Visa, visiting Visa. Bradley, what's going on with you, sir?
Yeah.
Hi.
Basically, I had, me and my fiance have been together maybe 2 years online, and I was going to bring her over here to the States, and I've been supporting her, sending her money.
Now,
paying for her
all
school.
the normal caveats, of course, go. I'm not going to deal with right at this moment because you don't want to hear it. But let's deal with your question first on the process, okay? And then when I say normal caveats, I just want people listening to know that this doesn't always work out. So go ahead, Bradley. What's your question? And we have an expert on, and our expert today is Jay Muheisen from Muheisen & Muheisen. He's been on the referral list for years. We use him to deal with immigration issues. He's very good at what he does. They do other things as well at the law firm. Go ahead, Bradley.
Basically, I just found out she got denied at her interview when she was physically there in the Philippines on Monday.
Why was she denied?
They told her it had something to do with the Trump administration, and that even though she has some racial ethnic ties in her ancestry to Somalia, but she has never been there.
Why, is Somalia one of those forbidden areas?
Terrorist watchdog list.
It's on a watch list?
Sure it is.
I think so, but she was never from there, ever at all, only just of some of that ethnicity.
I understand.
She's in the Philippines.
I don't know how they... First of all, I don't know what that's all about.
What'd they do, give her a DNA test?
So did they say she... Yeah, that's what I mean. Did they give her... How did they know what she is?
Because it's on the original birth certificate. So
her ethnicity, does it say part Somalian?
It does. She was born and raised in Saudi Arabia, and in Saudi Arabia, when you're not of the local ethnicity there, they keep the birth certificates of whatever nationality you are. In other words, you can never be local there. So even though she was born there, it doesn't make her naturalized from Saudi Arabia.
Well,
that's what happened then.
But how does it express ethnicity?
It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. That's just where she was born and where she's from. And she never has any ties to that.
It says she's born in Somalia, is what he's saying.
Okay.
No, she was born in Saudi Arabia.
No, what does the birth certificate say, though?
It's born in Saudi Arabia, but it still has an ethnicity listing.
I don't understand it.
They must have completely different birth certificates.
It says born, and it shows where she's born, and then it says ethnicity, and they give percentages.
It's not like percentages, but they just keep track of it. Like her parents came, I guess, from Somalia to Saudi Arabia, but the children and her and her were all born in Saudi
there's
Arabia.
the connection, though, is what they're saying.
Okay, we have to handle this. As I said, we were all screwed up because of the Trump news press or news conference we went to. So I need to get through this quickly. Jay Muehlheisen, what does he do in a case like this? I mean, have you come across the forbidden zones?
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
A couple of things from what I heard. First of all, I know what he's talking about. Many people born in Saudi Arabia do not acquire citizenship automatically. So it sounds to me that his fiance, who's now living in the Philippines, may have been born in Saudi Arabia, but is probably of Somalian heritage and is still national. Her parents are probably from Somalia, and so in her birth record, they label her Somalian. But I don't.
All right. So if you could hold on a sec, what we need to know is there anything you can do if you have any ethnicity going back to the forbidden countries? That's something we need to know. Is there a path? Is there something you can do, or are they just forbidden? And as far as I'm concerned, I didn't realize that had gone through that ban permanently. I didn't know that. I know it was challenged. We'll talk about that coming up, okay? But I do have to do this again. I apologize. We took Trump, and it took some time out of our show, but we'll get right back to everything. Lent Construction has this website that says it all, and that's bestbasementsdenver.com. If you're looking for a finished basement, it's not just going to be an add-on. You know what I mean. You walk downstairs in the basement, you see drywall and trim, and you go, oh, yet more space. No, it's an integrated design, not just more space. And it doesn't cost more than the other guys. It's just better because it's fully integrated. He's been more than 20 years in the construction business, licensed, bonded, insured, a law enforcement background. He's been very meticulous. He does line-by-line pricing, so you can see exactly what things cost and where to cut corners if you want to. But when I say cut corners, I mean with value engineering, he can show you how to get the most bang for your buck, so you get the illusion and the beauty, and you get the look without having to spend a lot of money. It's just a good all-around proposition with Lent Construction. bestbasementsdenver.com.
Say it again.
He's continuing on the referral list.
Who? Oh, yeah.
Highway 85 over the Platte River. Looks like they wrapped up the investigation from that earlier crash around the rush hour. The rest of the drive track out all the spots on the highways.
The guy that's supposed to have a stroke, my wife's ex-husband here to see kids, had a stroke over the weekend. He lives in the Philippines he lives there for that's what I don't care who hears it, but that's what
Philippines, Thailand.
But he has to come back every so often. There's a lot of weird rules.
Get back as a visa.
Yeah, he has to come back and stay for so long and back and forth.
Well, that's pretty much the rule. I have a friend who went down to Ecuador. She was just looking for a place to retire. U.S. citizen, born here, the whole thing. And she's got to leave, I think, like every 180 days or something and go away.
Oh, Mexico's worse, man.
And then you can come back.
Mexico, you can't stay. Well, you can ask for a further. You can ask for the proper way to do it, but you have 30 days. They don't want. You can't even book a hotel or a resort for more than 30 days.
Oh.
She like living in Ecuador?
You know, it was cheap. It was interesting.
Sounds cool.
But she just decided, it's just she wasn't that comfortable with the culture.
Two-thirds world.
So
who's this?
A
friend of mine. She's
Ecuador's not a bad
retired
country.
attorney. Huh?
Ecuador's not a bad country.
No, it's not, and it's the government is relatively stable.
Does she live in more a high city?
Yeah, she lives in. Yeah, she was living up in not close to Quito or whatever the capital was.
Somewhere to here.
Oh yeah.
Right.
No, the climate was great. I think really she just got you know, all the other expats. She didn't
I heard
really
there's a
want to
lot
have.
of expats.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
lots.
Was she on the coast or was she?
I
up
don't
in-
understand.
Yeah, she was in
It's
the.
just-
It
happens.
She was in
There's no reason, no rhyme. It happens arbitrarily.
No,
I
not
can do
nothing.
nothing.
No.
I can do.
It's been going on for months, hasn't it? Or a month at least?
I don't think
Yeah, I had it twice.
there aren't
This
many
is the second
places I
time.
think I
But
could even
it's
think
been a month
about,
since then.
Yeah.
you know,
I don't
being
know.
an expat. I mean, I would never go to Mexico. Never.
No, I think it'd be. Wouldn't you like to
You mean
go
for visit or whatever?
No, I mean, you know,
To live?
so many people move down
Oh,
there
I-
and everything.
I got friends that live there 6 months out of the year.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking 3 months out of the year or 4 months out of the year.
Kathy lived down there 6 months out of the year. They speak fluent Spanish, that helps.
Yeah.
But, you know, they got a big motorhome down there.
They live in the motorhome?
Yeah, well, most of the time, yeah, they've had.
Don't have any crime issues?
No, you know, no. As a matter of fact, most of Mexico, the American areas are very safe.
Yeah, but you know what? Monterrey used to be kind of the city in Mexico that Mexico was so proud of. They had universities where all the big Mexican corporations, and it was almost, they never had the violence. Over the last 3-4 years, we had, you may have remembered there was a couple there, this young couple, and people just rolled up and I think they were in the wrong place at the wrong time and got murdered. But yeah, now they have
Any place that
they
the
have
drug
the drug
cartels are.
cartel
Yeah,
there.
you can find out where any place the drug cartels are off limits.
Yeah.
Period. But most of Mexico would ruin their tourist things if they had anything happen to tourists in the tourist
I
area.
just wonder, just sometimes, you know, a kidnapping. You know,
No,
one of the things that can
Brazil.
Oh, that's a big thing.
It's a big thing. Most of the kidnappings are when the coyotes bring the Mexican. The kidnappings actually they bring them over here and they don't give them to the family. Well, most of the Mexicans are kidnapped.
I thought that's the gangs down there, especially after the drugs.
You know, I mean, you could be. And if you go anywhere where the game stuff is, you're on your own. But that represents a pretty small part of Mexico.
I heard Ecuador was supposed to be really a nice place for
Yeah, she liked living there. I think she was just, I think she was lonely, and so she's coming back to this area in the fall, and she's been traveling. And
People that I know initially go down and they have servants for $4 a day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they have all this stuff, but they get tired of being a third world country. They just miss what we have here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave. I just had that one drink.
Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. Rocky's Auto, 63rd and Federal. Oh, my goodness. You want to talk about deals? You can get deals. And if they have hail, you will more than make up for it with any hail damage sales yet to be announced. They're opened Monday through Saturday, 9 to 7 for the summer. Take advantage of their 40 lenders on site to choose from. What I mean is each and every lender represented there, and they can originate the loans right there with their finance department for 40 different lenders. Surely to find one for you. And the best trade-in values because they usually sell the trades right there. That's 63rd and Federal, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 7, 303-426-4646. Okay, so what does he do? What do you do if you're from the forbidden countries, Jay? Is that really a ban? If you're from there, period, done? That's all? You're just done?
No, Tom. And I think we're really focusing on the wrong thing in his case.
Okay.
First of all, let's talk about the basics. He applied for a fiancé visa, what we call a K-1 visa for his fiancée. So my guess is that there's more to it. You know, first of all, my first question to him would be, have they met in person in the last 2 years? That is a requirement of filing for a fiancé visa. You can't just meet somebody online.
All right, first thing, Bradley, without a story, did you meet her in person within the last 2 years? Bradley? Okay. He's not there. So keep going because people are listening. Yeah. We're talking to Jay Muheisen from Muheisen and Muheisen Immigration Attorneys and more. Go ahead.
Yeah, Tom, so just to give some basic information to your callers, and hopefully Bradley's listening, and of course he can always
check
my office directly if he has more questions. But regarding the fiancé visa, it seems like he's focused on the fact that, you know, she's maybe of Somalian heritage. I don't really think that's the issue. Whether it's during the Trump administration or the Trump administration, The fiancé visas come under heavy scrutiny. They're not easy to get, and for good reason, because there's a lot of room for abuse of those type of visas. So there's going to be very strict requirements. You can't just meet somebody online and say, hey, we're engaged.
Right.
You petition for a visa. So there's a general requirement that you have met in person in the last 2 years. Also, when she gets to the interview for the fiancé visa, she's going to have to demonstrate to the satisfaction of the interviewing officer that this is a real relationship. And that can be evidenced by social media, by phone records, exchange of emails, family members that know, letters from family members that know of the engagement. So it's not that easy to get a fiancé visa. You got to have a lot of evidence to show that it's a real relationship and that you enter the marriage in good faith. And generally speaking, when people come to me and say, hey, I'd like to apply for a fiancé visa, I tell them if you must do that, we'll do that. But if it's possible for you to go get married and then petition for them as your wife or your husband, that's the better route to go.
My understanding, too, is the investigator can actually ask for passwords for the cell phone and Facebook and everything, right?
Absolutely. They can ask whatever they want.
All right, now listen, Mueheisen and Mueheisen, 303-407-0453. 303-407-0453. Mueheisen and Mueheisen. We have more coming up. If you're looking for a replacement window.
From Somalia.
You remember the call we got from a guy?
Her uncle's going to give me $8 million if I send him 1,000 too.
Yeah, through Nigeria.
The uncle happens to be in Nigeria.
I know people.
We had to call a guy that she took everything from. Remember that?
Right. But I don't know. I meant there's people there that go there, get $5 grand for.
Bring somebody back. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure that's so abused.
I'm pretty much sure I know a person who did that.
There's a lot of people that do those brides. Remember back in the day it was Russian brides. Yeah. Then it was Vietnamese.
You can rely on K&H. I know that for sure.
Philippines, yeah.
Philippines is that big. That's right.
That was one place. The reason they wanted to ship, they wanted to stop the Philippines.
Got to stop the Philippines. Red light district.
Yeah. You know, the Philippines is the home now of the incurable gonorrhea.
You know how many kids are running around over in Vietnam that are half American? I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And a lot of them they have no idea. I mean, they don't even know they have a kid over there.
Yeah. And a lot of the kids are easy to spot because I have an afro haircut, that sticks out over there.
Oh, and they get made fun of over there.
Shunned.
It's a whole different.
Now, why'd you have to pick out afro hair? Afro.
Well, because
come on,
it sticks.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because
you're blaming blacks for having sex with Asians.
No, but it does make the kids stick out a lot more when they have a afro
haircut.
haircut.
Especially in Asia.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They're 6'8" with an afro.
I know. Boyan Liu, I know, is Chinese. He says we have no idea when we talk about racism, what racism is until you're Oriental. They class each person over there classes each other as being the world's worst, and they can't marry out of that.
Well, I know they literally would shun the kids of servicemen over there after the war.
Yeah.
I just watched a thing on it this week.
Did you really?
Like the Japanese think the Chinese are.
And how many kids are over there?
Inhuman.
And get made fun of and all that.
Hey, there's not a country that's more racist than Japan.
Oh, that's what Boyan was telling me.
Japan. They don't let immigrants come in.
Yeah.
I knew a guy from Malaysia, and I got to tell you, man, he was pretty. He didn't like anybody but Malaysians.
Japanese woman marries somebody other than Japanese, and she's shunned from the family. She's done.
Wow.
Now, Americans probably.
It's still.
But they don't allow immigration.
Who?
Japan.
No, there's a lot of places that don't allow. Actually, some are pay to play, like Emirates. I think you buy citizenship, $500,000, and you're done.
Yeah.
And you know what's happening in Japan? They've got an elderly population that's growing faster than ours, and they don't have enough young people to do jobs. So at some point, they're going to have to make a decision.
But they'll do like what Saudi Arabia does, just have expats, come in there to do the work.
Right. But they're not citizens, and they kick them out anytime they want.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's like one step above North Korea and China. They send out slave laborers every day.
Among the Orientals.
That's horrible.
Unbelievably racist.
And then the government gets paid for them?
Yeah.
So if
And
you're
they live
Chinese,
in,
this,
yeah,
so
no,
forth.
China's really bad.
You can't marry outside of this. So we have no idea.
Got to get rid of those nukes, and then hopefully that fat kid comes around on his human rights.
As being
the top.
The top
Yeah.
exclusive.
You hear we pulled out of the human rights
Any country.
international.
Yeah, but it was a joke. I listened to a couple stats. They went after Israel like 60 times, and they went after Syria or something once. I mean, it didn't even make sense.
But for them to take this high moral ground is a joke to me.
Oh yeah, they did, and they he was saying that the Chinese to them weren't even classified as a human race the way they looked at it, the way they viewed it. He said it's just the way it is. And I think we were talking. He was talking about these little kids. American half is black. The kids have a program that sticks out. No,
it's not spouse.
They're treating
Because
badly.
when you're engaged to somebody, what's that?
What was the visa called they were talking about? Was it the spouse?
K1. A fiance.
Fiance.
Yeah.
Fiance?
A K1 visa.
Maybe the dingo ain't your baby.
I love it when you speak foreign languages, Mark.
I'm very good. It's funny.
Fiance.
You want to hear my?
Don't get me excited now.
Okay, listen. I'm a guy from Mexico now. Ready? Oh, hello. Okay, now you want to hear my Canadian one? Oh, hello.
Wow.
A Mexican Chinese or?
No, my point is they're all the same. Want to hear me do Russian?
Oh, sure.
Why not? Please, egg roll.
You know, a couple weeks ago, I got kind of a weird connection at McDonald's. Taking orders, it was busy, and I said, "There's a bad connection." And they said, and they were in India, or India. I think they said.
Yeah.
What? They were taking an order. They were taking orders to drive up with them from India and said it's the screen.
No way.
You know, most of the time you can ask for
I'm just looking at you.
an English, native
Oh,
English speaker.
The English was perfect. There wasn't a problem with that.
Yeah, but they don't get our
I
idioms.
was,
They don't get.
showing
They
David
can't joke
how
with
I
them,
can
they can't-
impersonate
Yeah,
anybody
that's
from
true.
Mexico,
You can't
Canada,
understand.
Russia, everywhere.
Yeah, a lot of them can. No, this one was perfect English. But
I am a man of many talents.
Many languages.
hands up or down.
If you don't understand, you just speak louder.
Lipstick.
The louder you speak, the righter you are. You're up, bud.
They don't get your joke. It's over.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. This hour brought to you by Fix It 24/7. Fix It 24/7, where you can get some specials for Martino listeners. And really, the way you do it is go to fixmyhome.com, and they'll have a number of specials on there. And I'm going to give you one right now. This is going to be a digital campaign. Do you think I can let it out right now? What do you think? No? When did they say they were going to do it?
Well, since it's not freaking 100 degrees this week, I think we could do it.
Okay. For the first 5 callers, how much was it? 77? Okay, now listen. For the first 5 callers, here's how it works, okay? Usually, it's $39 to get an expert to your home. $39 to diagnose any problem with plumbing, heating, cooling, or electric. All right? Plumbing, heating, cooling, electric. $39. And they apply the $39 to any repairs you have. But if you call the first 5 callers this time, now this is a good time to have any problem you don't know what it is, like electrical or something. It's a good time because it'll never exceed $39 for a written diagnosis. You don't have to have the work done, but if you do, they apply the $39, except for the next 5 callers, they will apply $77. Did you get that? They will apply $77 to the repair. You don't have to have the repair done. I just want to stress that. But if you do more than the $39, they will apply $77 to the repair for the next 5 callers at Fix It 24/7, okay? You can't get this on the web. You have to call the number, the next 5 callers, starting from when I give this out right now, unless you started calling 720-526-3939. 720-526-3939. Now, if people answer and they don't know what you're talking about, tell them Tom said it. I'm going to text George, the owner, and tell them what I did. So the next 5 callers, 720-526-3939. That's an expert for your home for $39. And then if you have the work done, they're going to apply $77. Okay, we have a lot going on. This is a consumer show where we help people. Part of that is letting you know about great people on referralist.com, and one of them, Dave Salisbury, is here. David is an attorney who works with trust, probate, wills, estates, estate planning, and we have a number of questions for him. We have some emails. Then we had an immigration thing that I'm going to go back to because Bradley wasn't there. So Bradley, he said the problem the problem isn't so much the Somalia thing. The problem is mainly what's called a fiancé.
The kind of visa they're requesting is scrutinized.
He said the K-1 is very, very hard to get. And one of the requirements, you have to have had a person-to-person visit within 2 years. Did you have one?
Okay.
Yes?
Yeah.
How many times did you meet with her?
Just once for a week last year.
Oh, you went out there for a week?
Uh-huh.
Cool. How was it?
It was really nice, but sorry about that. Let me go inside. It was really nice, but you would have the biggest, fanciest malls you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
And then across from the street, families are living in the street.
Now, how is her station? How is her station?
Sounds like Atlantic City.
How is her station in life?
She's got a 4-year college degree, but because she doesn't have a worker's permit over there, she can't work, and so she's got a college degree, and we're just in limbo.
What does she do? What did she study?
She financial and business and economics.
How much do you send her?
I send her $300 to $400 a month for her to live on, and then I helped her pay for her last college a semester or two. So it's been about $6,000 or $7,000.
How old is she?
Since last. She's 28 and 9.
How old are you?
32.
Oh, okay. Not like some weird old big fat American trying to, you know what I mean? You know, you've seen them.
If anything, I've been losing weight since for the past 2 days.
Listen, I went to a cookout, a barbecue, whatever they call them, out in Boulder, and this guy is 63. And parades out a woman who's 24 from the Philippines or from Russia or from some. It was disgusting. It was like this guy. I mean, you knew what she was doing. She was coming to America, and it was just sad because a lot. And I know Tom.
Maybe he adopted
Bradley. Bradley, I know that you probably have heard an ass full of this and you're done with it because people say, "Now be careful, Bradley. You know, a lot of scams. People take advantage of people." Have you heard a bunch of that already?
I mean, I've heard people say it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but any friends of yours warn you or not, or are you kind of a loner?
Nah, more of a loner, really.
Is this now? Prior to this, did you use any other dating sites?
No, not at all. I just found her online, and we've been together for almost 2 years. But I don't know. Am I supposed to appeal this? Do I got to file again? I mean, I can't even
Muheisen said that you are welcome to call, and he will answer your questions. Now, obviously, he's not going to represent you right away, and he's not going to try to talk you into it either, but he will answer some basic questions. So give his, Suzanne, I gave his number out. Suzanne will give it again, and then off the air, you can get his number and call him. Just say, I was the guy, Muheisen and Muheisen. I was the guy who was on the phone. She was turned down mainly because K-1s are turned down a lot, but did they give the reason that she's from Somalia?
They said they didn't, because of Trump, they didn't like her Somalian heritage.
It goes way before Trump.
So they said because of Trump, we're not doing this?
Did they actually say that?
Because of Trump, they said, yeah, she said that the guy said, because of the Trump's legislation, that they didn't like her nationality.
Well, it doesn't matter. That's
incorrect. And she cried and told them that she's never even been in that country.
Yeah, I think they can figure that out, and I think it is going to be an appeal. But don't take my word.
If they get to the interview part, man, that can get tough too. They can go through all of her social media, everything, and if she doesn't want to turn over passwords or open up her phone or do this or that, they'll decline them.
How'd you meet her?
Met her online.
I mean, where?
Through a dating website.
Were you specifically looking for a foreign woman?
Yeah, I was.
I mean, no one knows who you are, Bradley. That's why I'm talking about it.
Were you striking out locally?
No. It's usual. It's very unusual. So really, we do like to ask questions about it, just out of curiosity. And like I said, we don't have your last name, Bradley Smith, so nobody can. No, I'm just kidding. No, nobody really knows who you are, and it is curious. And I'm sure seriously now, when I say this, there are a lot of lonely men out there listening, thinking, can you truly meet someone? And Bradley, do you ever get the sense that she was using you just for support?
Oh, no, not at all.
No.
No,
Okay.
not at all. And she's a very, very religious, and she has never even been with any man ever. I was her first.
Guaranteed virgin.
Well, listen, man, Bradley, did you meet the family?
I met her sisters and a little
nice.
bit, but not the parents. No.
That's very nice. That's very nice that you found love. I mean, it is. I mean, no, people don't like being alone. So, have you ever were you ever dated before? Were you engaged, or did you ever have a serious relationship?
Yeah, I had been married before. I was married for over 10 years.
Do you have kids?
Nope.
All right. So, call Mueheisen. Let us know how it goes. We'd love to follow this along if she gets over here. Okay, we would love to. See how that.
Yeah, they were so just really rude, and they even told her they didn't like my name. My name has a lot of religious names in it. They didn't like that she was religious. I mean, it was just really weird. They didn't give any facts.
By the way, this religious thing you mentioned now 3 times. So, was it a religious website you were on?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Was it like a Christian? Was it a Christian dating site?
It was farmersonly.com.
No. Or Muslim credit?
It would be a Muslim dating website.
Right.
And
okay.
She is trying to convert.
Tom, maybe she really doesn't want to come over and she's lying.
What's that?
Maybe she doesn't want to come over and she's just lying.
No, but I think Mueheisen would know that in a heartbeat. I don't know. I don't want to assume that. But anyway, so you're Muslim. She wants to convert to Islam?
No. She wants to convert to Christianity.
Oh, but it was a Muslim website you were on.
Yes, that's right. Because all the women on there have never been with any men, and they're not allowed to drink alcohol.
I see. You were
cigarettes.
Oh, I get it. I see where you're coming from.
Wife, they're so pure.
My goodness.
Purity, baby.
He had a strategy. No. I get it. He had a strategy, and so now she wants to convert. But I don't know.
He didn't want to date the heathens.
I would like to know if anyone has done this, has done what Bradley has done. I would like to know if anyone has done what Bradley has done.
You mean get what do they call that? Hook fished or fish hooked? What's it called?
It's called
catfishing.
Catfished.
Catfished.
Well, he's met her,
a site
so
with,
he's not being catfished.
I never thought I'd hear of a dating site with guaranteed virgins. I did not know this existed.
Well, it didn't say guaranteed.
Yes, he said all the women have never had any sex, never drank, never did anything.
Mark, he didn't say it was guaranteed. He said because they're Muslim women, they don't drink and they don't have sex or they haven't been with men. So that's what he's saying. So Tom's got a problem with a car dealership. Keith wants to talk. He's the guy that always calls with a lot of cool ideas and strategies like beating a speeding ticket, although I don't know if anyone's ever used it.
Is he from New Jersey, New York?
No, he's not that. No. Keith is from around here. So hold on. Alaramis, though, wants to talk to us about another screaming deal. We just gave a screaming deal for Fix-It 24/7, you know. That's $77 off a repair if you have it done, $39 to get that expert to your home, and then if you have the work done, that's $77. Well, Al has something where he's going to do a service for the next 5 callers, and it's a great service. Tell him what's involved in this service, because it's $79.95. What's involved?
Okay, so often we're seeing these vehicles come in, especially now. Everybody's running their air. And we notice people get in their cars. They tell us, and we notice when we get in. It stinks. It smells. It smells because mold and mildew is building up in the evaporator. That's your air conditioning.
Yes.
There's moisture and water and dirt and debris gets in there. It's got to get cleaned and sanitized. There's a product called DWD2 that we clean and spray that into there, an effervescent foam. Clean this out, drain it. We'll show it to you. And here's the beauty, Tom. I'm online right now looking at Amazon. Just the product alone is $53 to buy the product, and you got to do the labor. I'm doing it for $79.95, 5 callers, each location. I don't know how you beat this, but I'll tell you what, you're going to notice a difference.
No, that's a big deal. I had it done, and for $79.95, it's a deal to get your whole system cleaned and serviced, and that's for 5 callers for each store. They're near Evans and I-25 and near Bowles in Santa Fe. The number is 303-PRO-AUTO. That's 303-PRO-AUTO, and the website 303proauto.com.
This report is brought to you by Life.
There's a few slow spots in the highway.
That website, I just can't imagine.
So here's another thing.
Virgins are us.
You know what they do in Somalia with the women?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
The mutilation.
Yeah.
So they can't enjoy sex.
Yeah, but I thought that was Africa.
No,
that's
a lot of
countries do it. Why do I keep going? Why am I keep thinking she's from the Philippines?
No, she was that. She's in the
Philippines now.
She went from
George is telling me in the Philippine culture, because he's over there, that when you go out on a date with the girl, the whole family comes.
You do the whole family. I know a guy that went over there and did it right next.
This guy says what he should do is he's got to do at least 2 trips there to get married in the Philippines. That will quantify him for the K1 visa. It takes longer.
Qualifying for it?
It takes longer than the K1 fiance visit.
And that makes sense.
So he's saying he should go over there a second time, get married, then bring her over as a wife.
Yeah.
That's what he did.
And that makes sense.
He had to provide 2 years of text. They did not ask for Facebook passwords, but they did provide copies of text for a 2-year period.
Do they want to see all that, huh?
We provided pictures of the time we spent together from the trips to the
There's
Philippines.
so many of those scam things coming over here just to get here.
Yep. Well, like you said, we had that one that. How long was he married to her?
Not long.
Ooh, it sounds like the guy was in Manila at Mall of Asia. Isn't that the one that got shot up not long ago?
Where?
Mall of Asia, Manila.
No, Manila's Philippines.
Where was that big mall one where they walked in and just, I mean, they kill a bunch of people.
They've got like several communist rebels groups.
In the
rebel
Philippines.
groups.
The Philippines has got just hundreds of islands.
I'm asking this guy. This guy emails a lot. He's pretty cool, John. If he thinks these websites are even somewhat legit.
Beautiful gonorrhea that they have over there. It's the problem is if somebody gets it and they get medical treatment and they think it's regular gonorrhea, the antibiotics make it because they don't give them enough to causes superbug syndrome. And unless they knock it out with this, they got to go in and have IV bags.
Jerry, yes, I insist on dropping the F-bomb.
Late 60s, early 70s. If you get something, they give you a shot, it's done. Nowadays,
listen to the podcast.
It's never going away.
I got, what's that bad infection you get?
It's colorful and
that's what?
That super infection.
Chlamydia?
No, a wound infection you get. It's
Sepsis?
Yeah, sepsis.
But that starts with an S.
It's like that.
Michael Brown, afternoons 4 to 7.
8 years ago on Christmas Day, I had 106 fever. I got it.
Oh, 104, you can start convulsions.
I know at 106 I was.
If you want a version, you just need to go to Catholic school.
You're like you didn't have brain damage, too.
Maybe I do.
There are all versions there, right?
What's that?
Just go to Catholic school.
$1,600 a piece.
Hey, don't get tricked into drinking and driving in these when you have these
Cookouts, because it's so easy to have a few beers, or you're sitting in the sun, have a couple glasses of wine, cold white wine. Listen, if you are drinking, you should use Uber or Lyft or a designated driver and not try to calculate. That's when most people get in trouble. But Joe Lazzara is a criminal defense attorney, and that's what he does. Unfortunately, a lot of people have been smoking pot or drinking, and it goes up in the summertime, especially with 4th of July around the corner. Please be careful. And I give this number out because there are just people who are going to be dinged, okay? It's going to happen. Now, sometimes you might be falsely accused. Other times you might want to just plead guilty, get it over with. You need an attorney no matter what to get through the system. 303-429-6200. 303-429-6200. LazzaraLegal.com. That's 2 Z's and 1 R. LazzaraLegal.com. Joe Lazzara on a referral list. Alice has a comment on the K1 visa. Go ahead, Alice. What is your, and that's the, they call that a fiance visa, I guess? What's your comment?
How do you know this isn't a scam?
Well, of course, that's the very first thing we thought of. We don't know, but he wanted information. We gave it to him, and then we gave him all the caveats. But yeah, it could be a scam. But
we also got an email from a listener that said what he should do, he needs to go to the Philippines twice and meet her, but he should marry her there, Tom, and then bring her back as a wife, and that visa is way easier.
Anyway, so, yeah, is that your point, though, Alice? Obviously, it sounds like a scam.
Yeah.
He's been supporting her and sending her money every month, but the guy's...
Because I hear a lot about this stuff on your show, and also Dr. Phil, and I think this guy's pretty darn desperate to go to those lengths.
You know...
But if it's amicable, right? Seriously.
Well, what do you mean amicable?
Well, I mean, if he's happy and she's happy...
and amicable. Consensual, though. Like, in other words, if she says, yeah, okay, I'm using you a little, you can use me, let's
call it what it is.
I mean, you know, many of these women, when they...
Deputy Dan, you were in the military.
When they do the scam, they do it and don't come over here. They do it to get money. Some do it to come over here and then leave. Others do it for exactly what Mark said. They don't care. It's
a new life for them.
Yeah, it's a new life, and they'll be completely happy. But but it's arranged, and they don't care. I mean, and if that's someone's choice, and some people grow to love each other. I mean, there are a lot of people who just will do anything to get out of their current situation. So, Keith, what's going on with you, Keith?
Well, a while back we talked, and the talk got around to my work doing independent TV production in Boulder for several years.
Yes.
And you asked me to email you, but you didn't know why, and I've been busy working on my house, trying to get closer to Denver in the Springs and driving 5 hours a day to school up in the Springs. So I'm closer to selling my house now. And
good.
I'm wondering why you wanted me to email you after talking about my TV and film work.
Because I just wanted to know if it's somebody we could use. We use freelancers all the time. That's all. If you do good work. I was going to ask for some links.
Oh. Well, okay.
Yeah, that's all.
You didn't explain, so I didn't know.
No, I just said, hey, email me. And when people say they're, you know, many times, most of the people that say that, Keith, and I'm not saying this is you, but most of the people, they have a little camera and they point and shoot and they don't know anything. And I'm talking about...
I was using professional studio equipment
that
was elbow-free, and I was told my shows were some of the few worth watching.
Cool.
I was just starting to make contacts when the studio closed, and that was almost 9 years ago.
So you're doing all freelance now?
Well, I'm not doing anything except house and trying to sell it and get out of here.
And so you're selling your house. How long have you held?
I'm 3.5 hours away from Denver right now, and
3.5 hours
I was in Boulder County, and it was a lot easier. But
and so where do you plan on moving to?
Well, I'm going to school up in the Springs, and if I can, I'd like to get up in Denver to go to the same school up there. And
what kind of school? What are you studying?
I don't know if I'll make it past Pueblo or if I'll be able to get farther north.
What are you studying?
I've been enrolled in our school system, which is a martial arts school, since 1998.
That's where you're going to school. You're going to school for martial arts?
Yeah.
To what end? Just to keep getting better, or to do what?
Well, mainly that, but also at a certain point, you can become an instructor and run one of the schools.
I see. Is that your ultimate goal, to run a school?
Well, my ultimate goal has always been entertainment. You know, I love TV and film work, but
okay.
Being this far away and being that the studio closed, you know, it just stopped things for a while.
What do you do to support yourself right now?
I have savings and Social Security and
Social Security disability?
Yeah.
Okay. So, in any case, send me a sample of your work. Stan has an update.
Tom?
Now, who are these people in the Springs you're updating us on?
Yeah. I think I can help with that. Excuse me, Stan. So we had a couple, I don't know if you remember, they're the cutest couple with little babies. They were in these apartment complexes down in the Springs where it was nasty. We put their photos.
Yes, I remember.
And it was like these slumlord owners who did nothing about it.
Nothing,
That's who the update is on.
What's going on, Stan?
So Tom, the Reagan family who lives in the Broadmoor has given up these properties. They've sold these properties, Tom, so that's a good news for us and you. But the problem is, Tom, now these people that lived in these apartments, they're getting hit with more, I guess, more rent because the upgrades have to be done. And so, you know, that's not free, Tom. And so these people have to have a place to live. And so that's the downside of the information that I'm giving you.
Yeah,
so
you know, when new owners come in and they try to do a better job, they sometimes need to get more rent. Yeah, wow. Yeah, it's a twin-edged sword. But go ahead.
I'm sorry, Tom, but anyway, the slumlords are gone. You probably won't have a problem with the Reagans again. They have a luxury house in the Broadmoor, and they're out of our.
I know you mentioned that a couple times.
He's not a fan of the Reagans.
No. But apparently, well, listen. You know, what is a slumlord anyway? What is it? I don't know.
That place I went out to down kind of a couple miles from Rocky's Autos.
Oh my God!
Where they lived literally in shacks.
Wasn't he renting a lean-to and a car? Wasn't he renting a bus or something?
He was bus. That was that was for a family of 8. It was crazy, man. I've never seen anything like it. But this guy brings up an interesting point. He was ready after we put pressure on him. He goes, "Fine, okay, I'll just kick everybody out and shut it down." And then everybody that lived there, they called us, started calling us. They had nowhere to go.
So listen, Stan, I don't know what to do, man. Rentals are so difficult right now. And this family, what is it, a husband, wife, and 2 kids, right?
That's correct. Yes,
and they need a place to live. How are they supporting themselves? Is he working?
Well, you know, I don't know the details and the particulars, Tom. I just know that, you know, it's not only them. It's quite a few people. But, you know, it's sad. It's just one of those things.
It's sad, man. It's life. Yep. Listen, here's what we'll do, okay? If anyone listening in the Springs, leave your information, Stan, with Suzanne. If anyone's listening and has a place to rent, would you please let us know live at troubleshooter.com in the Springs or Pueblo area. Excuse me. Marie has a question for David. Tom, we haven't forgotten about you, sir. We haven't. Marie, what's going on?
Hi, how are you?
What's happening, Marie?
Hey, I have a question for David Salisbury, and I've heard you talk about it too. It's in regard to adverse possession.
Yes.
I have a piece of property that should have transferred to me in through a will, and it never did. So for the last 7 years, I have paid the property tax on it, done the maintenance on it, all the upkeep on it, and like it was mine.
For how long now have you been doing that?
For 7 years.
Have you been what kind of property is this?
It's a commercial property.
A commercial property.
Do you rent it out or
what? What is it?
No, I just I have it. I pay the utilities, I pay the taxes, I pay to have it mowed and maintained and done.
What is it?
It's just, it's a piece of property that used to have a...
Is it vacant land? Is it vacant land?
No.
What's on it right now?
Well, it's a building.
Must be marijuana.
Like a shack. That's the other thing, too, is it's listed as a hay barn.
Does anyone use it?
I do. For storage, basically.
Okay, but how long... See, I don't understand. There are owners somewhere, right?
He's deceased. The owner is deceased. And the owner was my father, and he passed away.
Okay, the owner was your father. Did he leave it to you?
He did in the will, yes.
Well, then I don't understand. Then you don't need adverse possession. Hold on a second. David will address this, okay? This is very confusing. You have a property that was left to you in a will, and you're talking about adverse possession? It just doesn't make sense. It was left to you. It's yours. David, let's address...
Maybe it was never his.
Let's just address this.
Well, no.
Back.
I think what the issue is, it belonged to him, and it's in his will, but if you don't open a probate, there's no way to transfer it.
Okay, well, we still have time. Let's talk about that coming up. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We have a lot more to talk about with David Salisbury on this very specific question.
This is Denver's Talk Station.
Well, these people don't know how to explain their issue.
Well, for all we know, someone else is trying to claim adverse possession against her.
Yeah.
And the term property.
But 7 years, I don't quote me, but I think it's 18 years. And it's for, no, for adverse possession.
Plus, it doesn't even.
For 13, just.
Plus, since the rules changed,
For everything.
It was, I've heard everything
They end
up
up-
to 18, but I
they
think
end up paying. I mean, you end up paying for it. I mean, really, it's not like you just take it.
Don't end up paying what you would if you bought it. You don't, Mark.
Well, maybe not.
People get fucked with that. But it's hard. It's hard to do.
She would, at minimum, they would have to pay her for all the property taxes and any kind of stuff she's done.
Why, someone tried to take it from her? Did she say?
But she's born more.
I don't know. She hasn't said.
So
18 years.
Keith, I think, was heavily.
It's 18, thank you.
Yeah, it's 18.
But then you have to file for it. It's not automatic.
Well, what about that guy?
Well,
You have to get a deed.
No, a lot
Yeah.
changed because of Boulder.
You have to get a deed. You have to file an adverse possession and get a deed. And then people protest. If the owner says, well, you didn't, and then you say, yes, I did. Look at this. I've had it for this long. I've done this. I've done that. And then they say, the judge says, okay, and they give you a deed. Sometimes it's not contested.
A lot of times you end up paying for it.
Free shipping on all orders. Call for your free sample.
What he's saying is they don't allow that to happen, what happened in Boulder. That was an outrage. So the state changed the law.
And he was a judge.
At least that's what you said. It was from that.
Well, you said that because it was done right after that, the legislation.
Property they're going to build their retirement house on.
I remember it simply because you told me about it later. The guy would,
And they would like
he basically
Running path.
took a walking path or
I
whatever.
swear to God. It wasn't actually even used.
And he was a judge, right?
It wasn't even
They
used.
claimed adverse possession.
He used it for jogging, right?
Yeah, well, to get to the jogging path or something like that. They got it for adverse possession, and so they got a piece of that property that rendered the rest of it too small to build a house on.
Yeah, they took enough from the lot where you couldn't, if you sold it, you couldn't even build on it.
Right. And it was their retirement.
He was a genius, I tell you.
Oh,
A genius.
Captain Silver,
evil.
Really?
Also, a judge.
Wait a minute.
And he
It
was a
says
judge.
this. Listen to this. It was settled. They sued, and this was settled 9 years ago. Hell, this comes from 9 years ago. It says 2 Boulder neighbors have settled a land dispute that made national headlines and prompted state legislatures to change the law.
Okay.
Don and Susie, who originally lost 34% of their 2 vacant lots to neighbors Richard and Edith, I won't give all that, agreed to cede about 12% CED to give 12% of $1 million property instead. The couple's announced Tuesday. What does that mean? Oh, to cede about 12% instead of 18%.
But they still ended up getting screwed.
Yeah, they had to give away 12% of their property instead of 18%. The guy wanted
Which
the
rendered
guy
it
wanted
useless.
34. The guy wanted 34%, and the neighbor said, "We'll give you 12 without a fight." Under the terms of the agreement, and this was years and years ago, they will own a 5-foot strip next to them, widening to 9 feet at the end. The total transaction equals 540 square feet.
Hi, Tom Martino, you're a troubleshooter. Okay, basically, Marie, let's get this straight. When did your dad die?
Okay, he died in 2011.
And in 2011, he left you a piece of commercial property with a barn on it.
Correct.
Okay, and
Now,
did you open probate at that time?
Okay, I did not, but his second wife did.
And during
And
that
that
probate, what did she do with that property that was left to you in a will?
That's the whole thing. She opened probate, transferred 2 other pieces of property to their respectful owners that were listed in the will, and then she resigned as representative, and the attorney also relinquished his responsibilities within 30 days.
Okay, so it,
And so it didn't go for the full 90 days that it should have.
Probate was opened and closed without transferring that property. Is that right?
Without transferring this one property, yes.
Okay, so where does that stand now, David? If it was open and closed without transferring, what happens now?
Well, you can go back and reopen the probate, and as a child, you certainly would have the right to do that. And then once the probate is reopened, at that point, you can transfer from his estate to your name, and you own it.
And it goes back to his to the basis of the day he died.
Right. Okay, do I have to reopen the probate?
Of course,
yeah,
because otherwise
that's the only way
you can't get ownership.
That's the only way you get ownership. Why is that a big deal?
Well, because I thought under the adverse possession laws, it says if you have an instrument that shows that this property should go to you, then you can file quiet title for it.
Then let's talk about this, okay, Marie? Because this is typical misunderstanding.
Okay.
You named, what is it called? Adverse possession.
The adverse possession rule, 7 years paying the property tax.
Marie, it's 18 years, first of all. Second of all, Marie, it's 18 years, and you must file an action, and you must pay fair market value to the estate. But here's the thing you're missing, Marie. If you called for advice, I swear to God I'm right. It is not adverse possession. Do you understand? It's not adverse. Adverse means adverse, against someone's will, and it's also notorious, and it's also public. In other words, you can't go to the middle of someone's property and take a little piece no one knows about and call it adverse possession. So you don't have adverse possession because from 2011 onward, you were granted the permission. So you don't have adverse possession. It has to be adverse in order to file an adverse possession. It doesn't just require you taking care of something. Because if my neighbor allowed me to take care of something, I can't claim ownership after 18 years. So you know...
Plus, it would be much more difficult to do than just reopen probate.
But plus, hold on.
Probate's easy.
I know, but here's the main thing, Marie. The main thing is you'd have to pay fair market value. Literally, you'd have to pay fair market value, and you'd have to open up. Why would you want to do that? I don't even understand that. You pay fair market value to an estate which his ex-wife would get the money. I mean, you literally are going ass backwards. You own the property. Just open up probate and have it transferred to you.
David, how much, just off the top of your head, how much would something like that cost to get done?
Cheaper than buying the property from the ex-wife.
Just to reopen it?
Yeah, and transfer it.
And transfer it? Well, you charge...
Just a ballpark.
Okay, less than $1,000.
Then it's done.
Marie. Is there a reason that you don't want to go the easy way?
I just don't know. I was not giving any information. He owned a business and everything, and I don't know if there were any creditors out there that had anything against the probate or anything else.
It doesn't matter. If you go and transfer that property, they'll do an you can do an O&E, and you can find out if there's any liens on it, but those liens would not go away with adverse possession anyway.
But I was wondering if there was any, because like the one person had called earlier that said, well, if they have creditors out there, aren't they required to open a probate? That probate was open. He owned a business, and he passed away operating that business. So if somebody came and said, you owe me for these products that I have supplied to you?
Marie, if you open probate tomorrow, and the only thing you have to do is open probate, get that will, and transfer that property from the county, you transfer it from him to you. You do not advertise for creditors because that's long gone. The people who originally opened the probate and took money had that responsibility. You wouldn't owe it anyway. If you inherited that property, you wouldn't owe it anyway. The estate owes it, and only to the extent that that would be used to settle debts would you owe it. Go ahead, David.
Okay, so that's what I was told, that if I tried to do that, I would be the one responsible for. That's all I'm saying is.
Oh no, I'm not arguing, Murray. All I'm saying is, after 1 year period, after the death, no one can bring a claim. If there's a lien on the property, that's different.
But Marie's probably getting her from Starbucks. She gets her legal advice when she's sitting having coffee. I'm just kidding.
No, this is what the personal representative and the attorney told me.
Well, they
closed everything up and said if I tried to go and get it, that I would owe whatever debts were brought against the probate.
Here's what I don't understand. Why did they not transfer it? Why? There was no reason not to. Why didn't they?
Why did they not continue through their 90 days and all their respective responsibilities, Tom? I'm just saying, that's all, you know.
Marie.
Why does he have a second wife?
Marie.
That's what I'm saying.
Marie, I'm asking a very simple question. Why do you think they didn't transfer it? I'm not asking you to ask me a question. Is it anger? Is it hostility? Did they not like you? Was there bad blood? What was it?
Can I answer yes to all those? D, all of the above. Yes.
All right. So they didn't like you, or the wife does not. That second wife does not like you. Okay. So, and during his life, did you have a relationship with him?
Yes, I did. Yes, until his death. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
so,
lived in the same town. Did
and was he living with this woman at the time? Okay. Well, then too bad. But there.
And it's not like they didn't get anything out of it either.
Now you still have a copy.
More, but,
you still have a copy of the will.
Just call David. He'll get this handled so quick for you.
Yeah, I would call David Salisbury and have it done.
Hey, real quick, adverse possession, by the way.
720-493-3911, yes.
You cannot even try to claim it on any government property. I always get those emails after we mention it.
Yeah. No, you can't. So, Tom, I'm so sorry you had to wait so long. What's going on, Tom?
Hey.
Yes, sir.
You talking to Tom Bauer here? Yeah, about the car dealer thing?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go over it again, please.
Okay, what the deal is, a month and a half on May 15th, I purchased a car from Car Hop in Fort Collins. I purchased it with an 18-month warranty, made my down payment.
When did you actually take delivery of the car?
May 15th.
Of this year?
Yes.
And you have a warranty for how long?
18 months, 18,000 miles.
Okay, and what's wrong?
Well, in the first 2 days, the transmission was acting up, so they told me I had a 70RT if I wasn't happy with the vehicle.
Did you pay for the warranty, or was it given to you?
It's included in the payments.
Okay,
sale.
So was it included on the sales, on the bill of sale? Did it say warranty this much money?
It just says warranty, the name of the vehicle, that they'll replace motors, transmissions, and all that stuff.
So you have a copy of a warranty with that car noted?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
And what's going on?
So they got the transmission done, and it ran better, and it ran for another week.
They did cover the transmission.
Yeah, well, they just serviced it. They didn't repair it. They just changed the fluids, hoping that would work.
Sure.
And it seemed to help. But about a week after that, the motor blew up. And I told them specifically I had to have something dependable because I Uber full time, and I wanted to buy a 2009.
It doesn't matter what you told them. It doesn't matter.
You're right. You're right. What I need it for, but I need a dependable vehicle. So they said it's covered in warranty. The motor blew.
Yeah.
Almost a month ago, been almost 4 weeks.
And is it truly, Tom? I don't have the warranty in front of me, but is it truly covered, that engine, from what you can read?
Yes. But the problem is that they've been lying to me every day, saying it's going to be ready the next day. I call the mechanics, they say, we don't even have a motor here. They're lying to you. And then they send the motor from the junkyard, and it's the wrong motors. They've had my car for almost 4 weeks now.
I know this sounds crazy, but at least they're not saying you're not covered. They're just screwing around, but they're not saying you're not covered.
Are they giving you a loaner to drive?
No, not at all. And I've lost
I'm
2 jobs. I've got no loaners, no nothing. But they keep lying to me. Now they sent 2 motors, and they're the wrong motors. They keep telling me every day, you'll have your car tomorrow, you have your car tomorrow. They keep making me make payments in between, saying my warranty won't be valid unless I make my payments. And I tell them now I got no money, I can't make those payments. So they promised to defer my payments, and they want me to sign a thing, but I can't. It's just deferred them for 2 weeks. I still don't have my car, and my payment came due again the other day. I told them I lost 2 jobs over this. I just got a new job a week ago. I can't get to work. I'm about to get fired.
We just have to. Tom,
there's a lot to sort through there.
Tom, it all comes down to this. You have a used car with a warranty, and you need the warranty honored for the engine, right? It all comes down to that. So let's get that done. Let's just get it done.
Well, the thing with it is, though, now they're trying to tell me to sign papers that I'm in default and that they'll refund my money. But
wait. Refund what money?
They're going to refund my down payment in 3 payments.
Wait, so hey, you'll get all your money back on this car?
That's what they're telling me, but the document they want me to sign doesn't especially say that. It's the document that I read saying, hey, I'm voluntarily letting them repossess my car, that I'm admitting I'm in default.
Oh, no. And it does it say, and then they will refund money? Because even if they refund money, they can come after you for deficiencies.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's call this place. Let's call Car Hop for you. Hold on a sec, all right? Let's try to get through this. You either want the car fixed or you want a true refund, right?
Yeah, but if he's back on the payments,
I get my refund because I'm not asking that much. I just got to get another car so I can get back.
How many payments are you back?
Maybe 2.
So why have
how if he only bought it on May 15th?
Yeah, how can you be 2 payments behind?
Because they're weekly payments.
Okay.
So
$92
I don't
a
know
month
if they
including that
necessarily owe him anything because he missed work and got fired and can't make the payments.
No,
That's where he's going.
No, you know they're not going to owe you for that, right?
Right, yeah, I just want my money back so I can go get another car.
I don't blame you. But you would take the car, they fix it too, right?
If they would fix it, but I can't wait another month for them to fix it.
I don't blame you. Hold on. Deputy Clint, I'd call him, and here's what I'd tell him. First and foremost, if you do a refund deal, don't make this guy, let him relinquish the car, but no default. That's crap. I mean, just let him relinquish the car and do that. I mean, that's fair, or a refund.
This report is brought to you by LifeLock.
The highway's slow in the familiar spots across town. Northbound I-25, stop and go, starting at Alameda. Doesn't.
Pretty big outfit.
I want to see if
What's their reputation? I've seen the ads.
Yeah,
No, I'm thinking of a different place.
They took care of the one I was working on.
Is it this place right here?
And to give you that warranty, I don't remember which one it was. There were a lot of them. It's big. I've never heard of them. I thought it was a little Colfax one.
That's what this is.
But they're national.
Oh, I see what you're saying. They got multi-locations.
Yeah.
Norton Security to help protect you against cyber criminals.
So
Protection for your identity.
So what happened with your son? I mean, did he have to continue to pay for the car that was destroyed, or?
We were talking about go bankrupt,
Yeah.
or what? If we go bankrupt, then lets the other guy off. I'm sorry, then it puts on there. But if I paid off just the settlement, would they pay the rest of it to him? No. The way they do it. So I ended up making a deal. It was $9,200. I paid $4,600.
So they were able to use it a lot again because only 12%. But he says people have said that was a good deal. He says it cost me over $400,000 to fight the lawsuit. After spending that, I get to lose only 12% of my property that I already owned.
He paid $400,000. Was that property worth that much?
No. That was his lawsuit.
Right.
Yeah, he defended. He said he did. No, that's what he said. He said he defended the lawsuit and spent $400,000. That's what he said.
And lost.
Well, he didn't lose. They settled.
Yeah, they settled by taking 12% of his property.
So did
You set up 34
instead of 34.
Did the other people defend themselves? They would have had to defend themselves also, right? So they paid $400,000 too for lawyers, or?
Who knows what they spent? You know, those people.
Oh, we got to get this guy on tomorrow.
What is it?
It's a coworker of the guy that
you know what?
got body slammed at work.
Oh.
Wait, who got body slammed at work?
Oh, yeah.
You should read our highlights.
Oh, I got a post yesterday's too. I forgot.
I noticed you did.
Here's what we're doing today,
I
guys.
noticed you did.
Let's do a Swedes Brigade meeting today, and then I'm going to post today's highlights and yesterday's. But we got to get that done, and then I got to get those panels, those Facebook things done. Man, I got a lot to do.
What do you think? Would you punch him?
Now, Mark, I'm going to do the badges, what, for 5, 10, 15, 20?
I think that's all we have.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25? I think we do those. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Yeah, same kind of theme, the exact size I sent you, all the same except for different years.
You have the size, right?
Yeah, I sent it in that email. It's 50 by 50 or something.
A JPEG, whatever. Right. And so who's going to upload those, or are they automatic?
I just upload them once.
Okay, good. Okay.
And then they can attach them.
But then you'll take that one off that you made.
Yeah, that was just
a
show.
sample.
Yeah. Did you see
like
it?
The pond with the circle on.
Yeah, whatever it is.
David Salisbury is with us, attorney at law. Carolyn's got a question. He does wills, probate, trusts, estate planning. Okay, Carolyn, what's going on with you?
I would like to know from Mr. Salisbury, can you disclaim a gift of real estate simply by never recording the deed that was given to you?
Once you've accepted the deed, in this case, it's a gift and it's done. You could have said before you got it, you could have disclaimed it and said, no, I don't want it, let it go to whoever it would be behind me by default. But once you took that deed...
Was this in a death, by the way, in an estate, Carolyn?
Death later.
No, so the gift was given while he was alive, or she was alive?
Yes.
And when she gave you the gift, how did she give it to you? Was it a he or she?
She.
How'd she give it to you?
quitclaim deed.
And doing a quitclaim, you have no control over. I mean, really, David, somebody could quitclaim something to me. It doesn't require my signature, does it?
Oh no, not your signature. You're getting the property.
Hold on. So she has a good point. She didn't accept the deed. So let's just say somebody quitclaimed something to me, and I don't want it.
It's useless property with high property taxes.
Yeah, what if I don't want it?
Well, then don't record it and pretend like it never happened.
Did you have an unrecorded quitclaim, Carolyn?
I do have. Still.
Okay, hold on. You can shred that deed, that unrecorded quitclaim.
Yeah, but the question begs, why don't you want it?
I'm curious. What is the property?
There's a stepped-up basis in the property at death.
I understand that. It's stepped up. No, the basis. What do you mean?
Oh, it was given to you before he died.
Right, so the basis goes back to when she went
to his basis.
Yeah.
And so you'd rather get it after death, so you get to step up in basis.
But hold on, how does she get it after death?
Well, I don't know. Was it left to you in a will or otherwise?
Oh, it was left to you.
Ah.
So yeah, if that deed was never recorded, it never happened.
Was there a probate?
No.
Well, you'd have to open up a probate to get it through the will.
You understand, Carolyn, he left this property to you in two ways. First, he did a quitclaim. Second, he did his will, right?
Right.
Okay. You are allowed, since you did not record that quitclaim, to pretend it never happened. It never happened,
well,
literally.
That was my question.
Yeah.
How do I get rid of the gift?
Well, first of all, what do you mean? Did he record any kind of a gift anywhere?
No, but
there's nothing to get.
Recorded quitclaim deed.
You didn't. You said the quitclaim deed was never recorded. Is that right?
Correct.
Then it never happened. The only way for that to be legal is if it was recorded. If you shredded it, there's no evidence of it. It never happened.
But if you want to get it, somebody's going to have to open a probate.
Exactly. That's the second part. In order to get it through the will, there has to be a probate, which is not difficult. Or you keep the quitclaim. But if you want to save on taxes, you are very smart to destroy the quitclaim.
And if you had a time machine, you'd hop in it and get a beneficiary's deed from that person.
Yeah, that's true.
The person's dead.
Yeah, that's right. What he meant was a time machine to
Way
go back.
back then, and I don't think they had beneficiaries' deeds then.
So, Carolyn, I want to ask you something. Did he leave it in an actual will, or are you getting it by default of some kind?
I have both an unrecorded quitclaim deed and a will.
Okay. The quitclaim.
Why is it in the will? That's another story.
It's lucky it is for you, because what you're going to do is destroy the quitclaim deed, and then you're going to open up a probate and have the property transferred to you.
And then your basis will be correct.
As an heir to the estate, you would be in line to open a probate. Has probate ever been opened?
No.
When did death occur?
Long years ago.
How many? 50?
About 13.
13. Okay, so David, if it happened 13 years ago.
It doesn't matter. We could open a probate on it now.
Yeah, you can get it done. And
who's been paying taxes and insurance and all that?
Me.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. It is, Carol, and you're going to get the property.
Well, actually,
otherwise, it'd be gone.
You've given me the answer that I needed.
Hey, what's the property worth?
Well, it's in Boulder. Probably close to $1 million.
Oh, my goodness. Are you sure you want it?
Am I sure I want
I'm just kidding.
Oh, you mean I should disclaim the will, too?
No, I'm saying I'll take the quitclaim off your hands, or I'll open the probate for you. Listen, Carolyn, seriously now, get a good attorney, David Salisbury, 720-493-3911. Get it done.
She's thinking, man.
No, she's smart.
She's on the ball.
It's wonderful that he also put it in the will. He might have or she might have forgotten that she gave the quitclaim. Who knows? Okay, Eddie, we have time for Eddie and maybe some more. If you want to call 303-713-TALK, we'll try to squeeze people in. Eddie, what's going on?
Yes, Tom, this is Eddie Tozer, and I
Hi.
got a 92-year-old mother lives in East Denver, and right behind RTD train deal that goes up and down the track to the airport. And here a week ago or so, they came out and sprayed all of her grapevines in her garden.
Because it's on a right-of-way, right?
Yes, but see, when this started, they were supposed to build the wall, so they didn't.
I understand.
And so, and this grapevine's been there since 1950.
But if it's in their easement, it's their easement, they're allowed to do it.
But
well, and even if it wasn't,
happened,
and they accidentally killed it, what would they do?
Well, I don't know. So what's the point? Is the point the grapevine, or is the point the wall?
The point is now they contaminated her garden.
Ooh.
She can't eat.
Wait a minute.
She can't eat.
So her whole garden got some of that spray.
It's dying. Well, she's afraid to eat anything since that killed all that grapevine.
No, it could cut her life short.
And another thing, Tom.
Yes.
I think it's on purpose because I'm out here in Florida. I'm getting phone calls right and left from people wanting to buy that house. And she's getting people from coming by every day.
Where is it? What part of town?
East Denver.
Hey, if she's leaving it to you real quick, get a beneficiary's deed.
Yeah, by the way, Eddie, this is your mom. Are you the only heir?
No, there's 3-4 of us.
Yeah. Does she have a will and all of that?
Yes.
Good.
But it's just the idea of what they did to her.
No, I know. It sucks. What would you like us to do? What were you hoping we could do for you? I don't know.
You could look into this and see, because nobody wants to take...
look into it for what? For compensation?
For killing the garden,
For
No.
For what?
She wants somebody to remit that they did this on purpose, because that grapevine's been there for years.
Why would they do it? Hold on, Eddie. Let's get Eddie back on. I don't even understand what he means by admit on purpose they did it. So please get him back on. I'm Tom Martino. Save all your problems for me.
I don't understand. He's basically saying, hey, make sure we get that nut back on.
Dan's going to hold him down. I'm going to beat his throat with a rubber hose to admit.
And that is exactly. But why does she think they did it on purpose?
Well, she's 92. Her entire life is that garden, and someone killed it. There's the whole thing.
I know, but why on purpose would somebody do it? What is she thinking? Like they want to get her out of there, or what?
Because all these people are all these people are calling to try to buy the house.
And actually, RTD is very sensitive to negative.
The same people that are trying to buy the house and calling her and showing up to buy it are the ones